Imagine if 80% of the population became zombies and half of those survivors die to the zombies in the next day. Food becomes a luxury, water is infected. If you drink, you turn into a zombie. You would have to try your best to survive. And that's what Shenlu did. The problem is, he was the last survivor. He spent months trying to find other humans, but all that he could find was deformed creatures. Seeing that all that was waiting for him was a life of loneliness, he decided to bury himself. But that's when he wakes up 27 days before everything starts. And in this life, he's going to eliminate everyone that he knows is going to cause trouble for him and create the biggest survivors organization. Of course, after so much loneliness, he will make sure to have an abundance of thick friends to make his room warm. He has the void ability. He can open a special inventory and keep food fresh. When he gets to the higher levels, he's going to learn the void walking. But now he's weak and receives a call from his uncle, telling him to come to the building. His uncle is mad at him. Shenlu had 3 billion worth of shares in his business, but he just sold everything for 1 billion. Of course he's going to do that because money is about to become useless. And with that money, he can buy a ton of shit of pork and put everything into his special inventory. But he knows that this uncle made his parents die in a car accident. He was named before, but not in this life. He excuses himself, saying he received a call. Someone found the dog that he wants. Even animals can awaken powers, and this dog will become the Thunder King. He knows that the dog has a missing part on his ear. He arrives in the dog meat restaurant and sees Thunder King in a cage. After some altercations with the dog's seller, he gets it. He needs to have a good relationship with this dog before he awakens. Going home, he sees Sudaju, someone that helped him before he learned the void traveling, but died protecting him. Because of that, he will make sure that this guy enjoys his lifetime. Our boy asks Daju, "Do you want to follow me and have some fun after you work?" But Daju tells him that he don't do those types of practices with males. Our boy understands. He doesn't know him yet, but that's fine. When the apocalypse starts, he will help him anyways. While he's bathing Thunder King, he thinks about building a base. He will get every resource that he needs and let only strong people with him. However, he needs a lot of resources to build a base. And the most crucial one is water. The majority of the water source will be polluted and only rainwater will be safe. He was eating something with his dog when someone knocks on his door. Her name is Mayu. She's a culinary teacher that he hired. He paid 500,000 just for some classes, and that's why she showed up. She thought that he was looking for a date with her, but seeing his face, she thinks that he is attractive enough to get another girl. So why is he wasting his energy on her? After some classes, she leaves. He doesn't know what happened to her in the apocalypse. While watching her leave, he remembers 2 girls, the sisters Mi-Ling and Millie. One had the flame power, and the other one had the light power. He heard that the light girl could even use revival spells. Of course, he wants both of them in his house, so he calls a spy to find them. We are 5 days before the Doomsday, and he has stored a lot of food, everything that can give him an edge in negotiations. He even bought a custom set of armor and some electric batons. Cause is one of the best weapons for the zombies in the early stages. In the last day, he bought a truck, and in that night, he couldn't sleep. We are at 1 hour and 20 minutes before everything. He calls his uncle for a favor and go to pay him a visit. In this life, he will kill him this first day. While he was leaving, he saw Sudazu again and tells him to stay safe until 9 o'clock. His cousin and his uncle were planning something when he arrives. He pretends to know nothing and eats. Suddenly, they heard a loud sound in the maid's room. His cousin goes to see. Upon opening the door, he saw that the maid was already a zombie and had killed someone. He falls back and she rushes him. He was able to lock the door before the girl went out, but our MC just electrifies him, opens the door and tells him this life you will be dying easy. It's much more interesting to see you getting devoured alive. But that's when his uncle shows up and asks Shenlu, "What are you doing?" Our cold protagonist just uses his big tongue once more. His cousin back is being eaten alive. While his father is lying on the floor, he makes sure that he watches everything. His uncle asks, "What are you doing all of that?" He slaps his face and says that he knows the reason. Then he throws his uncle to the maid. The zombie rushes him, but he just uses the baton and finishes with his knife and them, removes the crystal that resides between the eyebrows. Those crystals can make you get stronger and improve your abilities. Both humans and zombies carry them. Fiery humans and red zombies carry the flame crystals. But the most important for him is the transparent ones that can increase his spatial abilities. Outside the house, some zombies are already appearing, and it's the best time to start farming crystals. Since all the zombies are weak, he brings his dog to inside the house. After some time, he starts to shine. His awakening is beginning. He feels a headache, sits on the couch and concentrates his powers into his hands, throws it to the wall and creates a hole, noticing that his energy levels are really low. In the apocalypse, superhumans were classified into grades from 1 to 10. After the 10 grades, you have the King tier. When he absorbed the Thunder King's crystal, he went beyond the King tier. He then gave some tips to the dog that was able to cast a spell in the wall. After that, he went outside with his new armor. It's time to farm some crystals. He kills some zombies outside and goes inside a market, where most of the people are already dead. He grabs everything and puts into his spatial power. After some looting, he leaves. He knows a warehouse that has tons of supplies, but there's a bunch of zombies blocking the way. He takes the opportunity to farm even more crystals, and with his armor it's easy to survive. His baton ran out of electricity, but he gives it to the zombie and grabs another one for his spatial dimension. With the truck, he rushes through the door. Inside there are hundreds of zombies. Somewhere above, some people are seeing what he's doing, and they think that he's there just to take everything from the warehouse. So they should rob him and take his truck. He was putting everything into his spatial dimension when the girl pulls up and thanks him for saving her. But that's when the two other guys appear and hold him by the shoulder. At the moment, Thunder King leaves the truck, and they all get distracted by it. He takes the opportunity to bring out his electric batons and knocks the two guys. The girl gets scared and begs him for her life, but our boy believes in gender equality, so he just asks Thunder King to finish her. He gives a headbutt in her back, she falls on the floor, and he electrifies her. Now she's going to die for the zombies for sure. Then he grabs all the resources from the warehouse, 60,000 tons of resources. When he was leaving, a guy in the middle of the road tells him to stop the truck. He just ignores the guy that shouts that he's going to kill him. Ken Lu don't like that. Anyone with any ability can be dangerous, so he orders Thunder King to kill the guy. The dog easily leaves the guy smoked, but Chen Lu tells him, "You need to finish your fights. There's no room for hesitation in this world." And then the dog bites the guy's throat. He drives back home, but in front of his house, there's a bunch of zombies. With Thunder King, he easily defeats them. And from the balcony there, Sugazu and a girl by his side saw him. The girl named Chen Jin by the side of Sudazu tell him to don't go. This guy is crazy. He's luring the zombies here and is going to kill everyone. But Sudazu will not abandon his friend. So from the balcony he calls for him, and our boy sees the girl. He doesn't seem to like her. Why did I forget about this woman? She was a burden and almost got us killed. She's a very scheming woman. In last life, she always used Sugazu as an experiment. If she needed clean water, she would let him drink first, and always try to show affection for both of us. But in this life, he will use her to show to Sudazu that some people doesn't deserve to be saved. She goes for a handshake, but Thunder King attacks her. It rips her bag and from which a lot of supplies fell. He smiles, picks up a drink and gives something to Sudazu that is getting angry. She told him that she was starving because she didn't have food. Chen Jin rushes saying, "You cannot eat this, it's mine." But Chen Lu makes her fall on the floor. She gets up crying asking, "Why are you bullying this poor girl? You guys are not real men." But our boy doesn't care. Then he tells her that he will give her double the amount that he just ate. Seeing that situation, she knows that she can't make enemies. So she just apologizes, saying that she was scared of starving. He tells Sudazu that they are going to the market, goes to his dog and tells him to bring all of the zombies in the area to his house, grabs some garlic from his spatial dimension and says that the things are about to start. He then brings all the garlics to the rooftop. He tells them that the zombies hates garlic, but that ain't true. The garlic smell lures the zombies. He tells them that they had to go to the supermarket to find more. That's when they heard a lot of zombies. Ken Jin is scared since Chen Lu has all the garlic. She thinks I need some of the life-saving garlic juice. The zombies are about to break the door. Our boy throws the garlic on top of his head and tells Sudazu to do the same. But before he can do anything, Chen Jin grabs it and uses on herself. Sugazu in his mind was planning to give to her, but the way that she used it made it clear the type of person she was. Ken Lu says, "Sudazu, you saw it, right? In the apocalypse, you need to be careful cause some people don't deserve to be human." The girl now knows that she was set up, but Chen Lu tells her that he didn't make her use that bowl and whispers into her ears, "Let me tell you, zombies love the smell of garlic, so you're dead for sure." The girl panics, telling him that all that she wants is to live, but he's cold. He says, "Yes, but you're going to abuse the kindness of everyone, and I also want to live. So is it really wrong to sacrifice you?" He puts the armor with garlic into his spatial dimension. You don't care about her cause, she's gonna die anyways. And Sudazu is a loyal friend. At the moment, she tries to seduce him, telling him that he can do whatever slimy, slicky, squishy things he wants with her. But he answers saying that all he wants is her to die. That's when the zombies came running and grabbed her. Half hour later, they have killed all the zombies. But now the house is a mess and would be nice if he could have a maid. The culinary teacher doesn't look bad, is good at cooking, and also works hard. Maybe she's still alive. That's when he pulls out some food out of his spatial powers and asks to Sudazu if he has felt anything strange with his body. That answers that he's feeling way stronger than used to. And then Chen Lu explains him about the powers while his dog is wiping the floor. He goes to his bed while he thinks that he has already 42 core crystals. He makes a sword out of thin air, but unfortunately he can only keep this on for 7 seconds. But that was a skill that he learned way later, though in this life he will get even the void passage much earlier. In the morning he gives some armor to Sudazu and it's time to go to the green storage. On the way there they kill some zombies and then enter a dark room. At first glance they saw a skeleton. Ken Lu knows that zombies don't eat humans to the bone. It can only be rats or ants, of course mutated ones. After walking for some time, Chen Lu shouts to everyone run. It is an infestation of mutated rats. There's even one that is the size of a cat that jumps on Chen Lu's back and puts him on the floor. He tells Sudazu to not hesitate and start attacking. In this world, every single creature is slowly growing stronger, and some of them will skyrocket its powers. The fight is getting hard. Sudazu falls on the floor when a rat bites into his neck. Fortunately, the armor saves him. Chen-Lu notices that the situation is getting really dangerous, so he takes some meat out of his spatial dimension and throws to the rats. He now has to use his void sword, but that will cost him a lot of his energy. With a single swing, he can easily kill the Rat King and takes a big crystal from it. He asks Sudazu to take out the tooth fangs from the rat. With his extra strength, they got a Rat King fang. Ken and Lu goes to the storage and takes more resources for his spatial dimension. Then they go home and now they will spend 3 days using those crystals to get stronger. Ken Lu thinks that the fight with the Rat King was too dangerous. 3 days later, even Thunder King has already reached rank 2. Now our boy really feels like he needed Mayu to take care of his daily life. He remembers that she used to live on a 5-star hotel nearby. So he decides when he reaches rank 3, he will go in to find her. He goes to his bed to absorb more crystals. In last life, it took him 1 month to get to rank 3, but in this one, only 3 days. With his void sword having a duration of 20 seconds, he feels safer going outside. Next day, they go to the 5-star hotel. After killing some zombies, a guy opens a door and shouts, "Brothers, please save us." Is the hotel waiter Liu Wenbo. Chen-Lu asks him, "Do you know Mayu?" Then we see a blue-haired girl spanking her, telling her to leave cause they have no more space there. It seems that they are running out of food and they need to throw her out to survive more days. The blonde guy goes to Mayu and tells her, for the sake of everyone, "We have to sacrifice you, go out there and try to find another place to hide." They throw her out of the room and the zombies rushes for a bite. But that's when Chen-Lu and Sudazu shows up. They fight the zombies and the people inside the room are getting happy. The girl with blue hair thanks them. "You two are my heroes. Thank you so much for saving us. My name is Lim Yi." She is telling her name cause she is famous and wants to use her fame to get some reaction from Chen-Lu. But he ignores her, goes to talk with Mayu and asks her, "Why were you outside the room?" Crying, she explains everything to him. She saved them and then they throw her out. At the moment, a guy shows up behind Chen-Lu and tells him that he will pay 200 if he became his bodyguard. But Sudazu just slaps him across the face saying, "I hate people like you. How could you betray someone that helped you?" Ken-Lu answers that he will tie it up everyone, and if they survive, lucky. If not, that's their fate. The actress falls on the floor. "Please save me. Don't do that to me." She is willing to empty his family bag every day, but Chen-Lu tells her to get off since she is too dirty. While he was tying her with the rope, she was begging, "I haven't taken a shower for a few days. It's unavoidable that I'm dirty. You can help me to wash every inch of my body." But he stuffs her mouth with a piece of cloth. When they were leaving, the guy from the hotel was begging for some help. Ken-Lu gives him a metal tube and tells him that if he kills 10 zombies, he can come. But the guy hesitates, so that's his answer. But because the guy helped him to find the girl, he tells him, "I will give you 3 minutes to shop freely, then I will escort you back as a thank you." And the guy goes shopping. That's when Chen-Lu tells to Mayu, "I have a problem with cooking and logistics, so I think that's a good job for you. I'd rather kill zombies and I can guarantee your safety. So what's your response? Are you willing to go back with me?" She says that she's willing, so he welcomes her to the team. After sending the guy home, they can go back and celebrate. Back at home, he asks her about her abilities. Did she feel anything? She says that on the 3rd day she got a headache, but she was starving so much that she didn't pay attention. He tells her to feel the energy flowing through her body and try to manifest that energy. After focusing for some time, fire appears in her palms. Ken-Lu thinks that's a great ability. 1.5 hours later, the food is ready. They ate everything that they could. And Chen-Lu tells her to take a shower, just don't let any water get in her mouth. A few days later, after absorbing some crystals, he's closer to the rank 4 and is thinking about the 2 sisters. Maybe it's too early to help them, but it's a revival spell. People like that should only belong to him. He and Sudazu are going out to gather more crystals and he tells to Mayu, "Never open the doors, even if someone is dying in front of you, don't open. Close everything, don't look outside and don't go out." He gives her 2 batons and she tells him to not worry. After killing some zombies, they have already collected 500 crystals. He tells Sudazu to go back to the truck and he will go with Thunder King to search for something. He finds the girl's home and tells to Thunder King, "Go and see if there's anyone living in the Unity 201. But Thunder King felt something and rushes into a bush. He's chasing a cat. While Thunder King was biting the cat, Chen-Lu heard, "Quickly, tell this stupid dog to let me go." The cat can send his voice to other people's minds. Now he wants the cat as a pet and tells the Thunder King to leave it. When he goes to talk with the cat smells dried fish on him and asks, "Do you have it? Do you have dried fish?" He thinks that's strange. How can he smell my special inventory? But I don't mind giving him some dried fish. After you eat my things, you're my cat. Suddenly someone shouts, "Let go of my rice." It's Mi Lai in the balcony, the girl that he's been searching for. Now he knows that this cat is her pet. He finds it strange. He never heard about it in the last life. But the girl comes to him and shouts, "Give me back my rice." And then she picks the cat from him. She looks to the cat, "Sorry, my rice." Our boy knows that she has a sister, but it's not here. She will never let this girl alone. The girl says goodbye, but the cat wants to stay with our boy. Let go of me. He has dried fish. The cat jumps out of her hands and talks with our boy. Please give me some dried fish. I haven't eaten one for a week. Ken-Lu tells them that if they go to the supermarket with him, they can find some dried fish. My Lai doesn't want to go, but her cat got angry. After some reluctance, she accepts it. She goes back to the apartment and comes with her weapons. But it's just a dull roller, so our boy is laughing. Then he introduces her to Sudaju and to his dog, surprising her, a dog that can use lighting. It seems that not only my Rice has special abilities. He talks about his ability and asks about hers. She tells him that Rice can talk with people and her abilities are like a healer in video game. But there's no time because zombies are coming. Miley gives them some buffs, and Chen-Lu finds impressive. She's only level 1, yet this increases 1/3 of his strength. They are fighting when one of the zombies rushes towards Li. She says that she needs to fight some zombies. This is a good chance for her to learn how. After the fight, Chen-Lu is impressed. She looks weak, but her mind is strong. Maybe she will survive until the end. Then they give her a better weapon. She buffs herself and explodes a zombie head. But she can't control herself and kept hitting it. Our boy tells her that it's died already. After that, she vomits it, and our boy gives her some water. Sometime later, they are inside a mall on the 2nd floor. He gives her a bag and tells her to fill it up. But when she was grabbing some items, something appeared behind her. When she looked back, she saw Nikocado Avocado. She shouts for help, but the fatty is unstoppable. She throws her bag and tries to run, but then collides with our boy. He knows that Nikocado is a dangerous zombie. He is strong, can use charge, and even self-destruct. And it's at least a rank 3 zombie. But he's not scared. Thunder King hits him from the back. He pulls out his void sword and cuts the YouTuber. Millie hugs him, thinking he killed such a scary monster with a single strike. He's handsome and cool. Now Chen-Lu is a shining hero for her. He takes the opportunity to deepen the relationship, telling her to come with him to his house. But she says that she has to go to her home and wait for her sister. If her sister gets home and she's not there, she's gonna get really worried. But her cat is spamming her mind. Don't reject it. Just leave a note at home. Go with him and go to his house. He has dried fish. She gets closer and asks Chen-Lu, your house isn't far away, is it? He replies, of course not, baby, come with me. At his home, she's impressed with the meal that is prepared. After eating, she tells him that she's going back home, but not on his watch. Right now, it's already dark. I think it's too dangerous for you to go home. Why you don't stay here? Even better, why me and Daju don't go with you for your place? We can wait for your sister there. She accepts, and next day, everyone arrives there, even Mayu is with him. They are going to stay in different but close houses. But she asks to our boy, why don't we all live together? For me, it's fine if you don't feel uncomfortable. Of course, he's already inside the house. He keeps giving her food and she's getting way too close and is already jumping on our boy. But he's thinking, such a pity. I just met her today and I cannot rush too much. Otherwise, my true colors will be revealed. After that, they divide the rooms and Chen-Lu is going to stay in her sister's room. But he's thinking, where are we going to stay when she comes back? Never mind, let's just stay first. Then he teaches her how to use crystals. Next day, we see Myling help some of her classmates to survive in Jesus. She is quite fire, but she's angry at her teammates. They are holding her back. She has to do everything to save them, and her fire ability uses too much energy. After some time, she arrives home. Sisters are finally reunited. But Chen-Lu wants to know who are those two guys. And those guys are thinking, nice, 2 sisters. That's perfect, bro. That's when Myling asks her sister, who is this guy? She explains that our boy took care of her. And her sister seems to believe that those guys behind are plotting something. The guy even grabs his pants, saying, let's take her down first. They try to give her some food. She tells them that she's not hungry so they can keep it. Then everyone goes up to eat something. And Myling wants to find a way to get rid of those 2 guys. Ken-Lu enters first and tells to Mayu to prepare some rice. She finds it strange. She thought that they were going to eat barbecue. When they got up there, they see Thunder King and they ask to our boy, why you have a dog? Food is rare, how are you keeping this guy? Our boy tells them that he is giving rice to the dog. Both of the guys got angry. What? You're wasting food with a dog? In this world, then says to Myling that they should get rid of that guy. But Myling tells to them shut up and says, you don't think that I know why you guys followed me? How much you guys have done? They reply saying, just you wait. You guys are going to regret it. But our boy just pets Thunder King. Head Ant tells him kill him. And the dog goes all happy. Myling finds it strange. Why the dog is following them? He is seeking for death. Then we see a conversation that he had before with Millie. After putting some pressure on her, he asks her, between me and your sister, who is the best leader to create a better life? Millie answers, saying that's of course him. And he tells her, so you'll have to talk to your sister first. Millie told him that she was sure that her sister would obey him. But he tells her, I will not share my supplies with her until I'm 100% sure that she's going to obey me. This is for her own good. Poor girl believes 100%. When her sister goes to the kitchen and sees Mayu cooking, she thinks that she's wasting way too much food. But Mayu tells her that she's just following Chen-Lu. Angry, Myling goes to talk with him. Chen-Lu, why Mayu is cooking so much food? We're not going to have anything to eat tomorrow. Ken Lu tells her it's a celebration now that you are reunited with your sister. Myling tells him that it's too much. He should save something. He tells her it's mine, so don't worry about it. When she looks to the table, she sees 4 bottles of water. She thinks, why only 4? Okay, I don't think I'll have something to drink. I will just eat some vegetables and then I'll drink some soup. But when she sits in the table, Chen Lu asks her, what are you doing here? She replies, doing the same as you. But suddenly her sister says, I'm sorry. Chen Lu is a kind person, but it's for your better. Be patient with him, please. Ken Lu tells her, we're about to eat. I don't think you should be here. Of course, if you just want to watch, you can sit here. She asks, what is the meaning of this? There's nothing for me. Didn't you say that it was to celebrate the reunion with my sister? He tells her, I didn't promise to take you with us. Only my people can eat something that I risked my life to take. He looks to Millie, are you my people, Millie? She says, yeah. Everyone in the room supports him, even the dog and the cat. Then he asks her, do you want to eat with me? If you want to, just say that you're going to obey me. But Myling gets angry. Chen Lu, why are you trying to humiliate me? She stands saying that she's not going to eat any of this food and tells them, I want you all to go back to your house, leave this place. But when she goes to her bedroom, even his underpants are there. Sister, why you let a smelly man into my room? Her sister tells her, don't worry, he's a gentleman, he's just going to stay here for some time. Millie doesn't want to, because he took care of her sister for some time, she's going to allow it. Taking a shower, she's feeling alone. How you could take my sister with food? But that's fine, Chen Lu, we're going to see who had the last laugh. Outside they're talking about eating her favorite fruit, grapes, and that makes her think, damn, I really wanna. No, I don't wanna. It's been so many days, those grapes must be frozen. They're not fresh or delicious, I'm sure. When she goes to talk with her sister, Chen Lu thinks her figure is fire. She can awaken something in any guy. When she's leaving, he tells her, Millie, why you don't come here? Those grapes are so sweet. I'll save some of them for you. She looks back and thinks he's doing this on purpose. In her room, she grabs her sister. You teamed up with that stranger, and he's trying to make me angry? Then she tickles her, and Millie explains that Chen Lu is the better captain, and tells to her sister that it's all part of his plan. Her sister thinks that she's brainwashed, she would have no problem to follow him, but he has to use such a low-level methods. He really believes that he can get her with just some meals. If he wants her, he has to show her his strength, so she's going to fight with him. Then she gets up and goes to leave the house. She says that she's not going to use food, so she's going to search for something. Millie asks our boy to stop her sister, but he tells her that he has no reason to stop her. Millie asks if she can go with her sister to help her, and he says that of course you can go with your sister. Just remember to be safe. He thinks that maybe he shouldn't use such a playful way to deal with her, but in his past life she wasn't that easy to deal with. 10 minutes later, she's back with some beef noodles, and he shouts to Mayu to prepare some beef noodles also. He explains to Millie in 3 days they're going to fight. If he wins, she's going to obey him. And if he loses, she can order him as much she wants. But then she wants to know why 3 days later, they can fight right now. He tells her that his powers are out of control, but the true reason is because he's about to get to the level 4. And he tells her that he thinks that she would lose to Thunder King. She says, are you crazy? You were saying that I'm going to lose to a dog. He says that he's joking, but suddenly Thunder King is growling at the door. Someone outside is asking, Millie, are you at home? Please, I saw you coming back. Give me something to eat. I haven't eaten for 2 days. Millie goes to the door and tells to the lady, I don't have anything to eat either. Go away. Look to her sister and tells her, Millie, remember, no matter how much we give to her, she will finish everything in 1 day. The world now is like that. The fittest will survive. Ken Lu says that this is exactly the new order of this planet. She tells him to cut the crap. In 3 days, he's going to learn his lesson. And the cat warns Chen Lu that the person in the door is malicious. Outside the door, the old lady is saying, I had no idea that this kid could be so vicious. Some guys behind her ask, what happened? It's Millie not at home. She answers, she's at home, she just talked to me. The old lady is inciting all the guys to get in the house. Millie and Millie are such cute sisters, I'm sure you guys are going to enjoy her plumpy bodies. The guys agree saying it's worth dying to have some fun with them. A figure like that shouldn't be wasted. They grab some weapons, let's go, it's time to open this. In the other room, Sudazu sees everything and tells everyone that some people with weapons are coming to here. Chen Lu tells to Sudazu to go down and kill everyone, just don't do it in the corridor, or they will have to clean it up. Then he receives a buff from Millie while she looks at Chen Lu thinking that he's handsome, but she wants to know how strong he is. Sudazu is down there and Thunder King goes to help him. He easily defeats those guys since their attacks have no effect on him. After the guys are dead, he tells to Millie, go there and take their crystals. You have to remove from their foreheads. She's insecure and doesn't want to do, but he explains. Even though you are a support, it's something that you must experience yourself. Her sister agrees with him, it's better for you to get familiar with it. The earlier, the better. Then together they go down there. She's sobbing, but she does the job, but of course she vomits again. Back home, the beef noodle is ready, and Millie is impressed. How can they have so much? There's more beef than noodles in that soap than probably in the whole city. Millie cannot hold herself, pancakes smell, oh I'm jealous, but I know the size of my fridge, they are probably about to run out of food. At night, the same thing again, a banquet for everyone. She keeps asking herself how many dishes they are going to prepare. She runs to the fridge, opens the door, and it's full. She goes to Chen Lu shouting and saying the fridge is full again. When did you go out? Emat couldn't find fresh food. That's when Millie explains to her, Chen Lu is a void ability user. He can stock food for as many years as he wants. Millie asks, why didn't you say earlier? Her sister says that she forgot. Then she looks at Chen Lu and says, just don't forget our agreement. We are going to fight and you will listen to me. Yes, after I defeat him, I will make him kneel down and call me sister and give me all the food that he have. Our boy really wants to reach rank 4. He will receive the void walking ability. Then he used the Red King crystal. It's hard to absorb so much power, but now finally, he was able to break through rank 4. And then he used the void walking, going from inside the room to outside where Thunder King was guarding and got jump scared. And now it's time to the fight. Millie asks him once again, if I win, you will listen to me, right? He says, of course, you seem very confident. Why don't we add more bets? With a distance of 20 meters, we're going to lose in 3 seconds. She shouts at him, Chen Lu, I know that you are strong, but 3 seconds of you looking down on me? He tells her that he's not looking down, he's just very confident. She thinks of a plan. Once the fight starts, I will just move back, and then asks him, what's the new prize? He tells her, you are going to lift your butt high so I can kick it. She accepts and asks, can I do the same? He tells her that she can have any request and he will fulfill it. He knows that he's not going to lose. They are outside and the fight is about to begin. She's confident. 3 seconds. There's no way he's going to defeat me. But then he vanishes right in front of her, leaving her confused. Where he is, he's a stealth ability user. He's already behind her, grabbing her by the neck. It was so fast that she didn't even know what really happened, but he gets to her ears and whispers, Myling, you have lost. She thinks that if he had used the sharp dagger, she would be dead, and then accepts the defeat and asks, why do I have to do? But is thinking if she really will need to let him kick her ass. He puts his hands over her shoulders. Let's go eat some breakfast. You are now with us. I'm sorry for everything that happened those 2 days, but now let's get familiar with each other. She is already at the table thinking, everything is so good, it would be pretentious for me to refuse. Our boy knows that this was a perfect plan. Now he also controls Myling. Then he tells everyone to go to the living room so they can discuss some planning, explaining that he's noticing that the zombies are getting stronger by the day and resources are getting harder and harder to obtain. To survive from now on, they need a strong team. Even though individually they are strong, if they fight against another group with 100 or more people, they will lose. What if they lose to someone, and that person asks those 2 sisters to sleep with them? Myling tells that she's going to kill anyone who have those dirty thoughts. That's when he explains we are going to have our team and some sub-teams. Of course, he is not going to take any trash. Myling and Sudaju agree with him. Then he explains that the majority of the people now are outside the city. That is what a normal people would think. Myling seems to agree with him and says that his planning is good. He's thinking really far ahead. But our boy is just waiting for the time to kick her asses. Of course, he's not going to do that in front of everyone. Then he finishes the conversation and tells Myling to come to the room with him. She asks what cannot be said here. He tells her that it's a private matter. She blushes. I'm really going to get kicked by him. But I promise, so I don't care. It's just one kick. It's not a big deal. In the room, she goes to the wall and tells him, all right, you can kick now. He tells her, lift more of that butt. Do you have any misunderstanding about sticking your ass? She blushes, thinking that he's shameless. Does he have to be so serious about it? She tells him, I don't understand why you want to kick my ass so much. Why don't you just change this punishment? But he scolds her, asking if she's going to accept the punishment or not. She tells him to do it already, and he says that he's going to fulfill it. Looking at that view, he's thinking, I never thought that I could do something like that to the future war god Fairy. She sees that he's taken out his shoes, now it's going to be softer. Right. He's not going to hurt me with his kick. If he dares to kick it hard, I will cry. She looks back, what are you doing? I will count to 10. If you don't kick before the count ends, don't say I never fulfilled my promise. 10, 9, Chen-Lu is thinking, if I kick her, I can take my revenge, but is there a need to do it? I was trying to mess with her, and even though I'm sure that it's going to feel awesome, I feel like I will be single for life. 2 minutes, there's no time left. Suddenly he slaps her so hard that the impact send waves up to her head. His fingerprints were carved in that skin. She gets shy. Why did you use your hands? He tells her, sorry I forgot, want me to kick this time? She goes to strangle him and tells him, if you dare to tell this to anyone, you are a dead man. He tells her, okay, I'm going out. I will ask the sister Mayu to cook something that you like as a celebration for you joining the team. She finds it strange, you never asked me what I like to eat. But then she sees all the food. Oh my god, if Chen-Lu wasn't around, I would not be able to eat all this in my life. She thanks him and then he tells to everyone they're going back to his old home. This place is not good for them, and also they need more people in their team. In his way home, he sees some guys fighting some zombies. The guy with the black bandana tells everyone to run. He says that if they are going to die, they are going to die together. Chen-Lu sees and thinks that if the guy wanted, he could just let those 3 behind and run. so the guy isn't that bad. The guy saw him and asked for help. It would repay the kindness. He says okay and sends Thunder King. After some action, the guys are thanking him, and Chenlu asks them, what happened to you guys? All you guys have awakened some abilities. The guys tell them, yes, my name is Fan Yu, and I'm the oldest. I got a stronger physique. The other guy has an ice ability, the other one has a lightning ability, but compared to the dog, he's weak, and the last one can control sand. Fan Yu explains that they went out to get some resources, but they fought against some zombies that had poison powers, so they almost got wiped out. Chenlu says that the more people means more power. Why don't you guys join us? But of course I will be the captain. Fan Yu thanks him and accepts it. They enter the truck and Chenlu gives them his old house to live, but he tells them, I will come to find you guys later. Inside the house, he tells to Myling and Menelai to go to the 3rd floor and pick a room. Sudaju and Mayu are going to stay on the 2nd floor. Then he tells Daju to come with him to the neighborhood to check on something. When he gets close to the guys, he overhears that the guys are talking about the dog being so strong. Bro, I think that dog could defeat 4 of us. He goes to the guys, do you guys know how to cook rice, right? Take this. Fan Yu says that they cannot take that since he had already done too much for them. They will go out and search for some food by themselves. But our boy tells them that they are family now. They're all teammates, so giving food is normal. But inside his head, he thinks that he's only going to give meat when he believes in those guys. Then they give some walkie-talkies and explains part of the plan. They are going to settle here for a long time. You guys are injured, so rest first. Contact me if there's anything happening. Outside in the neighborhood, he is with Milling and she's angry at him because she wants to be with her sister. But he tells her to shut up, there's someone coming. A bus pulls up and a babe gets out of it. She has that jacket over her shoulders, so for sure she's strong, and Chenlu recognizes her as Muiani. He says, why did I forget about her? Myling asks him, do you know her? He tells her that girl is a CEO and a chief designer for a clothing design company, and she's famous, but she's a complete psychopath. He remembers that in the apocalypse, she established a gathering place that could only accept female survivors. No one in that place could fall in love. Any relationship would mean death. But of course, she had her own desires. She was Mailing's number squishy lover. If I remember, she risked her life to save Milling and died. After Myling took the captain position, she started to let male survivors to join. Muiani is probably here to collect some supplies. She should have met Myling right now. Looking at Myling, he thinks that she is such a good underling. She asks, why are you looking at me? He tells her that it's nothing. But it's when the girl shouts, who is hiding over there? Our boy knows her, it's Stubian. Suddenly, Muiani rushes for Milling and says, we are a team only with girls, how about you join us? Our boy is right there just staring at her, and Myling says, sorry, but I already have a team. Shanji asks her, he's your boyfriend? Kenlu cuts her, it's none of your business. Turns around and says, Myling, let's go, we need to keep up with everyone. Muiani, looking at our boy, is thinking, every man is greedy and full of lust. He is pretending if he says that he does not want this beautiful woman. I must make Myling see his true colors. She tells her team that they are going to stay here for today. That night, Muiani went to talk with him, but he tells her that they are not close enough. She says that it's going to be fast, she just needs him to help with something. He asks what it is. She replies, there's a big shopping mall with many supplies 3 miles east. If we go there, you're going to have food for at least a year. But there's a lot of zombies and I don't think I can do that with only my team. So I would like to ask you to cooperate. But Chenlu knows the shopping mall is the one where he got everything with Mealy. Why she want to go there to see some zombies dancing? So he tells her, nah, I'm fine here. I'm a coward. There's like hundreds of zombies. I don't want to go. Muiani angry thinks you are a coward, so why Mailing fall in love with you? He then says goodbye. She wanted to take him to the mall so she could kill him, but he's not biting the bait, so she has no choice but asking for that person for help. Chenlu is impressed. Jesus, that pig wants to eliminate me just because I'm with Mailing. She's more ruthless than I thought. I didn't have anything against you, but if you want to do something against me, I have to protect myself. No one would be wary of a dog. Then we see Muiani talking with someone. She thinks that he's just a stupid delivery guy, but he has a good wind ability. A few minutes later, she's telling him, I need you to use your wind ability to lure the zombies there. I'm doing this to punish that trash, do you understand? The guy is a simp, so he says, of course I understand, my queen. It's an honor to help you. But after this, he wants something. She says that she would let him join them, and now he's all happy. Thank you so much, Muiani. I will do my best to help you. The guy seems to know Sudaju, and he was trying to find him, but he couldn't. He runs through the city, luring all the zombies, and goes to the mansion. But outside, Chenlu, Sudaju, and the dog were waiting for him. He stops in front of Sudaju and asks why he's there, thinking that he cannot put his friend's life at risk just because of a team of girls. He tells Zhu, please wait for me here. I will lure the zombies away. Chenlu remembers about the guy. He was also a friend, and all the time he would lure the zombies so they could find resources. It was a good strategy for a short amount of time, but he died in a miserable way. After some time, he comes back and tells him that he's sorry for bringing those zombies. Dazu tells that it's fine. He knows that he wouldn't bring the zombies just to kill him. And Chenlu asks, Muiani asked you to bring those zombies, right? Feng tells him, how did you know? Thinking, don't tell me that this is the trash guy that she wants to kill. Chenlu asks him once more, Muiani told you to lure the zombies here, but do you know anything else? Brother Feng tells him that she didn't. She just told him to punish some scumbag. At the moment, all of them heard a loud noise, and Chen Lu recognizes the sound. It's a rank 5 zombie. From behind all those zombies, we see a bus coming. Muiani sees the front of the house and knows that those are the zombies that Brother Feng brought. All she want to do is save Myling so she can bring her to her team. Then they keep charging with the bus. One of the zombies already controls fire ability and throws a fireball into the bus. All the girls are running. The bus has a gas tank, so they need to be careful. Muiani didn't know about the zombies that have abilities. She tells everyone to not panic and attack the monster together. Then she uses her ability, sending 3 daggers to the zombie, but it's easily blocked. Seeing that the zombie is rushing towards her, she grabs one of the girls and uses her as shield. From the side, Chen Lu sees everything and thinks, the zombie is really strong, I need that crystal. All the girls are now scared of Muiani, thinking to themselves, why Mu was using some people to save her? That's when she saw Chen Lu. Nice, I'm going to use this coward to block some zombies. But Chen Lu tells her, is it really nice to use your own sisters to block those attacks? He slaps her across the face. I never had thought that you were someone like this. Muiani is scared. Why is he so strong? She falls on the floor and a zombie pierces through her. That's when Chen Yuan appears. She says that she's going to buy time for everyone, and Chen Lu sees that she's courageous. He smiles, brings out his void sword, and says that courage is rare. I'm not gonna let her die here. The zombie tries to hit him with the fireball, but he just uses his void walking, appears behind it, and cut its head off. Everyone is impressed. Wait, it's already killed. How that guy is so strong. He grabs the crystal and tells Chen Yun to stop crying. From now on, he will help her, but now she needs to comfort her sisters. She thanks him, and then he asks her, what do you guys plan on doing after this? The girls doesn't seem to have any plan. After some time, he called Chen Yuan to a private conversation, and he tells her, if you guys join us, I guarantee that you won't have to worry about starving to death for a short term. Chen Yuan asks if she can talk with her sisters first. After some time, damn my brother, that's how you survive in the apocalypse. My boy went from 3 to 100. He thanks Muiani, I will be taking your team. Yuan says those are the 20 people that wants to join your team. He tells, no problem, but you guys must follow my rules. Number 1, you must obey orders at all time. If you guys join me and don't listen to the orders, don't blame me for being ruthless. Number 2, don't tell me that you are afraid. When fighting, there's no distinguish between man and woman. Everyone here will fight. Number 3, if you need a partner, try to find one within our team. That's the big wingman. My bro doing one for the boys even in the apocalypse. The girls have some doubts why we can only have relationships within the team. He explains that it's to prevent that those people to get abducted by others' teams and to decrease the chances of someone finding their secrets. Chen Yuan says that she's fine with those rules, and the other girls also agree. Then he opens his arms and welcomes everyone. Chen Yuan will be responsible for contacting me about any problem with you girls. Come in and I have a surprise for all of you. When the girls saw the food, they were all happy and crying. And when the guys saw the girls, they were all happy and smiling. Then Chen Lu gets a list with the powers of all those girls. And one of the girls has the light attribute. Her name is Wang Lin, and it's a girl that his brother Feng likes. Then he tells the 2 guys they are going tomorrow to hunt. So those 2 are responsible for guarding the base. Early the next day, they go for a hunt. They have some strategies and some planning in place. But some of the girls are not used to fighting, so they miss their spells. They run when they should attack. Chen Lu knows that if it wasn't for his people, those girls would already be dead. They need much more training. After some hunting, they are inside a shopping mall. All the girls are exhausted, and he tells to all of them to go pick some clothing and anything that they need. Without anyone seeing, Chen Lu grabs some black stockings. But Myling saw everything. Don't tell me that he has a weird fetish. Does he like to wear that? No, he's not that type of guy, so for who he's going to give it? Wait, to my sister. That color doesn't suit her. After some time, they were all thirsty, and our boy gave 2 bottles of water for everyone. When seeing that situation, Millie thinks that it's wonderful to have Chen Lu around. Ever since she started to follow him, she never got hungry or thirsty. She even got protection from him. She has been hiding something in her heart for too long. Today at night, doesn't matter what happens, she's going to say it. The night falls and our boy is playing some games. When Mayu asks if she can come in, of course he tells her, sure baby, come in, but is thinking, it's so late, why is she knocking on my door? Maybe she wants to give me the opportunity to do some slimy slicky things. Sitting by his side, she tells him, brother Chen, today after seeing sister Xu and the others, I realize how lucky I have been to be by your side. I have something to say which I have been holding into my heart for a long time. Our boy is anxious for what she's about to tell him. And then she asks him, can I be your girlfriend? Jesus, our boy doesn't waste time. He puts her on the bed. Of course, Mei Lin, do you know how long I have been waiting for this moment my boy is going in? And she says that happiness came so quickly. She tells him that she's not ready, but he tells her that this world is way too harsh. No one knows how long they can live. Today might be the last day of us on this earth. There might be not tomorrow. When you were ready, your brother here would be dead. Wouldn't that be a pity while he kisses her forehead? She thinks that this seems to be the case. And then she grabs his neck. But that's when they notice. Rice is in the room. Boom! Get out of here, brother. Poor cat thinks that Chen Lu weren't like this in the past. Myling appears and thinks isn't that Chen Lu's cat? Why is he not in the room with him? Rice tells her. Chen Lu is inside the room having a cozy warm time with Millie. Mylin asks the cat what type of warm time. She then stops right in front of the door and thinks, if Millie wants it, why should I stop it? She's my cute sister, but that would happen sooner or later. Then we see Chen Lu talking with Mayu. He tells her to prepare some good meals, 20 kilograms of pig meat. It's already morning and Mei Li asks him, where is Mei Li? She used to wake up so early. Myling passes by and says that she's not here because of someone. Look at his face. Mayu seems to understand and says that she's going to fry some eggs. While she's thinking, I wonder how Chen Lu will handle her. Our boy gives some dried fish to Rice and tells him, unfortunately, you cannot be in my room anymore or I wouldn't be able to have some birthday claps with Mei Li. In the morning, they have a nice breakfast. Everyone is happy. Outside the mansion, a couple smells the pork. Brother, this smell is so nice, I want to go there. But the guy tells her, hui hui, our main task is to solve the water problem, so come with me. Right now, we need to leave a like in this video to help Mamoru make more juicy content for his viewers. Part 2 will come soon, so activate the cheeky little bell, and I'm out. Welcome to another one, my squishy cute brothers. The big table was placed outside the house. The guy with his sister gets closer and she asks to Chen Lu, do you guys have some clean water? I can exchange for some food. Chen Lu tells her of course we can exchange. Then Xu Yun brings in 2 bottles and takes some supplies. They were about to leave when they ask, brother, are all of you in the same team? Do you guys accept more people? Chen Lu gets close and asks, why? Do you want to join us? She says that she wants. He tells her, okay, you just need to prove that you're qualified. If you guys go kill 10 zombies and bring me back the crystals, you guys can join us. Of course, you have to use weapons or your abilities, not with vehicles. The guy sees that as an NPC giving a mission and thinks that it's doable, so they go saying that they would be back soon. The girl tells her brother, I thought that only you and me knew about the crystals, but her brother tells her, of course they know. They are smart people, they even have meat to eat. He told us to kill 10 zombies, but we were going to kill 20 just to prove ourselves. 1 hour later, they are back. Chen Lu seems happy and tells them good job. Welcome to our team. Now tell me, what's the ability of you guys and when did you guys awaken them? The guy says that he got his abilities on the 3rd day and his sister got on the 2nd one. He explains that he is like a warrior with more strength and his sister is like a magician. Chen Lu asks magician in what way. She summons a dark energy on her hand. Chen Lu smiles. Dark ability users can create undeads and even cast curses. To our team, it's a great help. Then he asks Mayu to cook something for them. Later that day, he was walking around in circles, thinking that Millie is about to reach a new rank. Then he tells the Rice to go sleep with Myling and appears right into Millie's room. Millie, I'm here tonight, lads. She jumps on her bed and covers herself saying no, I don't want to do, I'm still in pain. But he hugs her. Okay, we are going to have more chances in the future. I will try to hold on. But suddenly he says, I have an idea. Why don't you just heal yourself and we can try? Brother, that's what I call a good use of abilities. We're already on the next day, so I think the healing was used multiple times. In the city, he's telling the team. The goal today is to collect supplies in the Yulin community, but be careful, there will be a lot of zombies. Don't panic and rely on your vehicles to run through them. While the elemental users attack, everyone else will defend them. Then Feng goes and brings some zombies. Chen Lu notices that they are improving a lot. When he was petting the cat told him, I cannot do that. I'm still in pain. He looked at the cat and asked, did you hear that? The cat tells him, you only say that I shouldn't watch, but you didn't say that I shouldn't listen. Chen Lu picks him up, you know way too much, be careful or I'm going to kill you. The cat answers by meow. Half an hour later, he's giving weapons to everyone. Myling tells him that they should go to other restaurants, and with that they grab a lot of more resources. Some of the girls are calling for Mailing, but she's interested in the supermarket cause she wants to find something. Ken Yuan saw her and got closer. What is she doing? Why I feel like she's trying to hide everything. Then she sees that she got some condoms and thinks, I didn't know that she had that type of relationship with him. Myling notices her and says, don't misunderstand, I'm just. Hyun once stops her and says, ugh, that's fine, you don't need my help, but let's go. Myling's angry. If weren't in for Mealy, she would kill that damn Chen Lu. Walking through the community, our boy sees some people in the windows, but is too many survivors for this place. An old lady from a balcony asks him, I know you are a kind boy, Auntie hasn't eaten watermelon for many days, it's so hot here, could you give me some? Everyone is begging him, please handsome guy, give me some water, could you bring me some chicken from the supermarket, hey boy, bring me some cigarettes. Chen Lu just thinks that they are all shameless. So he tells to everyone, my legs are numb and my feet hurts so much right now, I cannot climb those stairs to give you guys sorry. Everyone is shouting at him, hey, don't you respect the elderly? Everyone saw you going in and out. Where are your supplies? You know he's taking all of our supplies. Everyone, pick a weapon. Let's stop him. They all move towards our boy. The lady in front tells him quickly, put everything down. You guys are stealing from us, don't you know? Chen Lu tells them, bunch of shameless bastards, this place isn't your home. One of the guys says, this is my property. My brother used to own the supermarket. He's dead, so now it belongs to me. The old guy gets close to him, but he says, get lost or you're going to die. The guy gets in his face, hit me, I dare you to hit me. If you do, I will lie down and not get up, you know. Chen Lu just raises his palms and slaps him across the face. Okay, I will satisfy your request. The guy falls flat to the floor. The neighbors come to help him, but he doesn't seem to get up. Wait, did he die from a slap to the face? Nah, he's just pretending. He's very good at it. But Chen Lu is thinking, those guys are bastards and also have bad eyesight. Can't they see that his face is crooked? He calls everyone and tells them, what are you guys waiting for? They're trying to snatch our supplies. There is no respect for the elderly right now. His plan is to set an example. The old guys are getting crazy, saying that they are going to fight. I know Taichi, okay? I have my lightning whips. But an explosion happens and they are running, run, save me. But the fireball didn't come from his team. Chen Lu recognizes the guy. He saw him in his past life. His name is Chuan Guang. The guy walks to him and says, those old bastards scold me every day. I didn't do anything to them because they were my neighbors. I never thought that they would die in your hands. Chen Lu asks, do you want to take revenge for them? Guang replies, brother, don't misunderstand. We came this time to make friends and ask you for a favor. I'm Qian Guang. Smiling, our MC says, I'm Chen Lu. How do you want us to help you? Guang explains, you know there are 1,000 houses in our community, rich in resources, but a large number isn't collected yet. But it's getting harder to get them. In the past 2 days, a husky turned into a zombie dog. It can run fast with lightning and also has some wisdom. When someone is alone, he attacks, and when we are in a group, he hides. It's been difficult to deal with him. He even killed one of my companions. Chen Lu says that he understood and asks what is the reward for which Gong offers 300 caddies of rice and 5 barrels of water. Chen Lu tells Chen Guang that he doesn't feel any hostile intentions from them. So he agrees, okay, I will help you guys. Then he tells the people to keep carrying the supplies and asks Thunder King to come with him. Suddenly Chen Guang says, damn brother, you are living such a prosperous life. You even have 2 pets, and they also has a bunch of cars and food. That's the pinnacle of life. Millie comes to him and asks, brother Qian, do you need me to go with you? He tells her to just wait for him. Now the guys are even more impressed. Jesus, I am still single. He has a dog, a cat, a wife, and even meals. Then Shin Guan explains, a zombie dog usually stays in the garden. Our people cannot stop him at all. Do you have any way to deal with him? Chen Lu smiles, of course I'm going to use a dog to deal with a dog. Chen Guang says, why do you want your dog to die? Don't send him or you have some sort of grudge. Chen Lu tells him not to worry, he will be fine. After going upstairs through a hole in a wall, they smell blood. When they open the door, the dog barks and uses a lightning technique on Thunder King, but he easily dodges. We have some Pokemon action, Pikachu against Raichu. Thunder King goes for a lightning tail, right in the dog's face and sends him flying through the wall. Chen Lu then looks at Chen Guang and says, alright, end of the cooperation. Hand over the resources that you promised. Chen Guang thinks that this was way too fast, while Thunder King is all smug. Outside, Chen Guang is telling him, Chen Lu, numbers mean strength. Would you like to consider joining us? Our protagonist is somewhat puzzled. The guy tells him, I'm not boasting bro, but in my team, each person has killed 10 or more zombies before. Everyone here works hard and is reliable. We have an abundance of supplies. We don't have to worry about food and drinks for half a month. Our boy thinks, damn, now I want to take over. Because Chen Lu is ruthless, he tells the guy. I don't think you guys are fit for me. I can easily kill all of you. Qian Guang tells him, that's why I want to join forces with you. The weak can only depend on the strong. We need your help. Chen Lu asks, okay, we can join forces, but are you going to listen to me? That's when one of his members comes running. Qian Guang, something bad happened. Brother Zheng was injured by a zombie. It's very serious. Qian Guang asks to take him to the guy, and Chen Lu asks Millie to come with him. When they arrive, Qian asks, Brother Chen Lu, is there any way to save my brother? He smiles. Millie says, okay, leave it to me. Then she uses her healing abilities on the guy. They're all happy. Oh, thank you so much, Millie. Chen Lu says to Qian Guang, go back and think about my proposal. Millie, let's go. Qian Guang is impressed, such a strong healing ability. He turns to his guys and says, brothers, I asked Chen Lu about joining forces. He said it's fine, but we all would have to listen to him. The guys are all thinking the same thing. He's more capable than them, he has a healer with him. So they are not scared about dying, and the most important part, he has many girls. Let's everyone join Chen Lu's side. They go to our boy. Okay, Brother Zheng, we are all willing to listen to you. Chen Lu explains to them the true rules. They have to fight the zombies and they have to obey him. If they break any of those rules, they shouldn't blame him for what happens. Chen Lu says, okay, now that we've joined forces, everyone shall stay together. It's fine for you guys to move to my place tonight. I think our boy is letting way too many people in his mansion, but he buried himself in his last life because of loneliness, so I give him a pass. Around the mansion, we see some guys getting bullied, and the two guys that are guarding the mansion are watching all of that. Unfortunately, the numbers are too low right now, so they cannot act. But the house that the guys are going to is from someone in their group. They were planning how they would deal with those guys when they saw our boy coming back. That's when Chen-Lu sees a group of people entering his villa. Why are there so many people at my mansion entrance? When they got off the bus, the guys were thinking, damn, why does he have so many girls? He sees the guy and remembers. He was the simp of the girl that he killed. The guy with the mohawk says, yo, what's inside here? Is it supplies? You should share half of it with us. But suddenly gets slapped across the face. Shut your mouth. They put their lives at risk to obtain those supplies. Why should they share with us? But looking at the sisters, he's thinking, I kind of agree with you, brother. He tells the Luchen people, sorry, everyone. We didn't know that this mansion belonged to you guys we're going. Ketlu knows. This guy is a poison ability user, a disgusting venom that could make you sick for several days. Rice tells him those people are filled with hostile intentions. He says that he knows. The Mohawk guy says, brother, are we really going back empty-handed? This isn't like you. The guy hits his head. Are you dumb? There's no reason to attack head-on. We should just wait for the right opportunity to sneak on them. The guy gets happy. Brother, you're so smart. But Chen Lu just says, kill him. Those guys really think that I'm dumb? I'm not letting you guys get the first attack. Since you came here with bad intentions, then don't think about leaving. Later that day, he's in his bed resting. Okay, tomorrow I know that some zombies are going to evolve into rank 1. I need to tell Shin Wen to bring back all the supplies before they evolve. That's when someone knocks on his door and he thinks, on this floor it's only me, Mailing, and Millie. Of course Mailing wouldn't come here. But when he opens the door, it's Mailing and he asks, why are you here? She gives him something, take this. He looks and sees condoms. Blushing, she asks, why are you so shocked? I'm doing this for my sister. Do you think that I'm doing those things for you? Millie is too young. You guys should wait for 2 more years. But if you want to be a father, then just forget it. And then she runs. He looks at her. Okay, your intentions are good, little sister. I cannot waste such a gift. Millie, brother is coming. The next day in the morning, he tells everyone about the zombies evolving. Because he doesn't want his team to die, he explains some things about them. When a zombie reaches rank 1, it gains some abilities similar to them. But the problem is that they acquire some amount of wisdom. To deal with these zombies, it's better to go in a group of 4, with 2 mages and 2 close-range fighters. Then he teaches them how to dodge some spells. He asks the girls to throw some spells at him, and he easily avoids everything. Everyone thinks he is amazing, but he explains that it's all about looking at the gestures. If you can see how the person is moving their arm, you can predict where the spell is going. They don't seem to believe, and she says, let's try it again. He keeps dodging everything, but then gets hit in the face, and she tells him, I knew where you were going to dodge, so I threw one there. Chen Lu thinks it's amazing, as expected of the flaming fairy. Her way of fighting is perfect. After some motivation, they go back to the city to grab more resources. Chen Lu remembers that when the zombies started to evolve, the ability users began to kill each other. On the way, Millie sees someone she knows and gets startled. Chen Lu asks if it's a close friend of hers. She says she has a good relationship with her and she is her best friend. Can we please help her? Chen Lu tells her, if it was a stranger, we wouldn't. But because it's your best friend, of course we're going to help. Go, Thunder King. Seeing him coming, the guys say, oh look, a dog. We are finally going to have some meat, but no time for dog meat because Sudaju and Millie are already behind them. After the fight, Millie calls her friend. Then she introduces her friend to Chen Lu. He's the one who sent everyone here to save you guys. She thanks him and says, my name is Zhang Jingjing, and this is my father, Dong Cheng. We have nowhere to go. Can we join your team? Chen Lu, as always, says, you can if you follow our rules. Does your father know how to drive? If yes, follow us. We are going back to the base. When they got to the villa, her friend wanted to join to his slicky warm chat at night with a couple, but Chen Lu doesn't want it. It seems that he wants to enjoy only Millie for now. So he tells her, no, without my permission, you cannot enter this villa. I will leave her for you. When her friend was eating, she says, this is really good, but where's Millie? Why didn't she come to eat together? Chen Yuan explains to her, Chen Lu is our boss here, and we are just his staff, so we eat separately. The girl thinks, why? I'm sure that they have something better to eat. We are best friends, how can you not let me join? Chen Lu tells Millie, your best friend needs to be observed, don't expose your things. And also, everyone needs to show some value if they want to stay here. Millie thanks him, but that's when he heard a message from the walkie-talkie. Brother Chen, something bad has happened. A dozen vehicles are in front of the villa. There are around 50 to 60 people. He tells the guy, okay, they should be survivors who had escaped. Go and notify all the members, gather everyone at the entrance of the area. Chen Yuan passes this information to all the girls and tells them to get ready for the fight. But Jin Jin rushes to her. Oh, what happened? Are we about to fight? Chen Yuan asks, Jin Jin, what's your ability? Jin Jin says that she has strength-type abilities, so Chen Yuan tells her to stand in the front. But she starts to scream, I'm only 18 years old, put this girl in the front, why can't I be in the back? The girls say that as magic abilities, Chen Lu told me to stand in the back. Suddenly, all the girls are already pushing her outside. Come on, stop wasting everyone's time. When she sees Mei Li, she starts to cry. Mei Li, I cannot stand in the front, please help me. But Mei Li tells her, Jin Jin, don't be scared, you have to experience it. But don't worry, I will be close to you. If you get injured, I'm going to heal you, there's no problem. Jin Jin sees that she has something white on her cheeks. Is she eating cake? There's no way. Mei Li grabs her by the wrist and tells her Chen Lu is here. He's going to protect everyone. But Jin Jin thinks that her friend is sacrificing her for the Chen Lu. Chen Lu just calls her, Mei Li, come here. And Jin Jin gets angry. Okay, you are so close to him, and now you're ignoring me, even though I was your best friend. Since you can do it, I can do it too. Then we see the guys that came to the villa while talking. I thought this guy's captain was very strong, but it's just this young brat. Yo, brother, you're in charge of this mansion, right? You know the nearby area doesn't have any supplies. My people have nothing to eat or drink for a day. Could you subsidize something? Chen Lu explains that that is not possible, but they can trade. He accepts 1 zombie core for 1 bottle of water and 1 of rice. You know, we don't have too many supplies because it's getting hard and we have a lot of survivors, but I'm willing to help you. The guy thinks that Chen Lu is dumb. Why did he reveal the core crystal secret? The guy tells him, I thought you guys had many people, but it's just a group of girls. I'm not gonna lie, those girls are all very pretty. The guy shouts to his group, Yo brothers, he told us to kill some zombies and then he's going to give us some supplies. What do you guys think? No one seems to agree. Brother, we are hungry. How are we going to fight zombies? Another guy says, if he gave that condition, that means he has a lot of supplies, right? The captain tells him, if you don't give us supplies, we might have to do something here. Chen Lu thinks, damn, this group of bastards, they think that I don't dare to kill humans. But Jin Jin from behind shouts, peace is more important, give them some food so they leave since you have so much. Mei Li tells her to stop talking nonsense. But she says, this fight is nonsense. Why should we have a life and death fight? I'm in the front line, what will happen if I get hit? The captain laughs, that pretty girl is right, we don't want too much, bro. Just give us like 2,000 kegs of rice. And because she's a kind-hearted girl, we have no choice but to return the supplies in the future. You can believe, bro. That's when Chen Lu walks to Jin Jin and slaps her across the face. Who gave you the right to speak? Her father speaks up, Chen Lu, what is the problem? What my daughter said is wrong. The villa is filled with supplies we can give them to avoid everyone getting injured. You're putting everyone's life at risk. How can you be so evil? Mei Li goes to say something to her, but she just ignores and say, stop acting kind. In the afternoon, you secretly eat cake with Chen Lu, and now you are going to send me to the front line. You are not my best friend. Chen Lu tells her, I saved you, you ate my food, you drank my water, and you still dare to say such words. As expected, some people shouldn't be saved. He goes to the captain, all right, let's continue with the negotiation. The guy tells him, okay, so you have multiple villas with supplies. I want everything in one villa. I think that's fine, right? Then Chen Lu sees some K-pop fans and asks them, you guys seem to be from different groups. What do you guys think? You guys also came here for supplies? And guy named Jungkook tells him, brother, we are looking to see if we can find a place to stay. We have our supplies and have no intention of threatening you. Since the villa is full, we're going to leave. Chen Lu just observes, but the captain looks at him and says, are you going to give it or not? Suddenly, he goes into his spatial dimension, here, take it, and vanishes with his head. The guys don't know what just happened. And Chen Lu says, since they want to die, let's fulfill their wish. Then everyone engages in the fight. Jin Jin notices, that's why Chen Lu didn't give anything to them. They are winning so easily. The fight was done in seconds. He tells everyone, take the crystals from their brains and put the corpses on the mountain. Kneeling on the floor, Jin Jin is thinking, what have I done? What am I going to do now? If I just didn't say anything. She crawls towards him. Brother Chen, let me off this time, please. I wouldn't dare to do it again. Just please don't kill me. Chen Lu tells her, what are you saying? You're Mei Li's friend, why would I kill you? But you're not my people anymore, so you can leave fast before I change my mind. Jin Jin calls for Mei Li, but she just says, sorry, goodbye, Jin Jin. Her father calls for her and she says, that's fine, Dad. If Mei Li can get a guy to carry her, I will also find someone, and in the future, they will beg for us. But before leaving, Chen Lu kicks Thunder King and asks, what are you doing? You know we cannot leave any potential threat. Thunder King gets behind the daughter and father and finish then. Then one of his guys told him that the guy he was talking to earlier wanted to tell him something important. Chen Lu asks when it is, but the guy says he's not sure. Since the guy seems believable, he came to report this to Chen Lu. He tells his babes to go back home because he's going to talk with those guys. It's the BTS members. He asks the guy what's important. The guy asks if Chen Lu is accepting people into his team because his whole team wants to join him. Chen Lu interrupts asking, is this the important thing you mentioned? The guy responds, no, it's not just that, and shows him a big crystal. Chen Lu recognizes it as an actual level 6 crystal and asks, how did you get this? The guy says it was from a dead zombie, but that zombie was 3 meters tall, and this is going to be a gift for him. Chen Lu responds, if that's the case, considering your sincerity, it's not impossible. Then they tell them their rules. Always obey, always fight, and if you try to run from the fights, you're dead. The guy seems to accept it, while Chen Lu, holding the crystal, thinks that with this, he can be promoted to level 5 in almost 3 days, which is already a month faster than he projected. Then Chen Lu tells Chen Yuan to see if any of them have light abilities or good support abilities. If someone has that and is willing to join, he is allowed to accept them. Thunder King is already back, and Chen Lu thinks it was really fast this time. The dog is all happy, saying he is a professional now. Now Chen Lu is giving orders to everyone about how many zombies they should kill and how much time they should spend hunting. Everyone just accepts. Then we see some guys confused. I thought you were the one who led the team. I didn't expect beautiful girls would be leading everyone. Is this girl very powerful? The guy just says that those girls have been with Chen Lu for a long time, so she's already level 2 and some other girls are already at level 3. Then they find some zombies and the girl gives everyone orders on what to do. One of the guys had to watch over the community entrance. An hour later, he saw a bunch of yellow cars coming to the community and passed the information to everyone. Chen Yuan told everyone to get together, but the people collecting supplies were curious. What do we do with the materials we just collected? Chen Yuan told them to leave everything since it was better to be alive, and that's when the yellow cars arrived. And of course, the first thing they say is some rapier lines, and I'm not talking about the sword. Hey, I haven't seen such a pretty and clean girl for a long time. Hello, sisters. Okay, James Charles. The guy tried to touch her, but she slapped his hands. What are you doing? She asked. The guy told her, it's the end of the world now. There's no reason to play more tricks, right? But she just kicks his balls. Stay away from me. Angry, he tells his guys to kill everyone and just leave those 2 girls for some fun. They got surrounded. When the girl told him to stop, she got hit on the nape with a bat. The guy even told her to stink and die. One more of those yellow cars pulled up and we see a guy with glasses inside. The guy tells them not to be too extreme with the girls and they seem to obey. Yes, brother, we know. But that's when one of them got hit in the face with a spell. It was Chen Yuan with a bow. Chen Yuan shouted to let them go, but the guy used his powers to raise a barrier and her arrows couldn't penetrate it. In that situation, they couldn't reach each other. When she got her friend in her arms, she noticed she was already dead. What a big loss for the team. The enemies were even going to take their car. And the rapier user said, Bro, why don't we keep those girls? They are so beautiful. The leader slapped his face. Are you retarded? This woman is not easy to deal with. The guy said, Bro, what do you mean? We have many more people. What can she do against us? But the leader knew something. Her group must be near here. And if we do something else, we are going to get retaliated. The scene changes and Chen Yuan is informing Chen Lu about everything. She says, sorry, I didn't lead everyone well. But Chen Lu tells her that she did the right thing. You would be dumb to start a fight at that time. He shouts to her, blood is paid with blood, and tells everyone, we are going to take revenge tonight. No one can bully my people and still be alive. Unless they leave a like in this video to help Mamoru make more juicy content for his viewers, activate the cheeky little bell, and I'm out. Some of the enemies are pointing. Brother Yuan, someone is coming. It seems that they are the group of people that we just left. The leader Yuan is impressed. Jesus, how they got here so fast. Chen Lu is leading everyone in the front, and now they are face to face. Chen Yuan tells to our boy it's them. The guy with the glasses is unimpressed with Chen Lu and thinks, that woman was a 3rd level superpower. Why she is following such a weak guy? Chen Lu asks him, are you the leader? You are really brave for what you have done, and I have no reason to let you go. The guy with the glasses taken back thinking, this young man looks way too confident. It's better to me to be on the safe side. I don't want to fight forcefully. And he says, little brother, it's our fault. Okay, how about we give you back the heavy truck and some rice as a compensation? What do you think? Chen Lu says, if I kill someone on your side, can I pay that with rice? What about this? I can give you hundreds of rice bags and then I take all of your lives. Now they are scared. Damn, this young man is crazy. There must be a reason for all this confidence. I need to give him some explanation or he is going to start this fight. Then he says, this incident was caused by Hazy, and we cannot let everyone take the blame together. You guys can take Hazy and do whatever you want. He's grabbed and shouts, brother, are you really going to do that? I usually follow your lead. You cannot do this to me. Besides, it was the woman who made the first move. Chen Lu didn't like it and thought, he really thinks that he can just give me one person and treat that as a solution. But the guy on the floor says, brother, I didn't know she was yours. Besides, I wasn't the only one who took action. Lake Kitty and Mauer also took action. Chen Lu looked at their leader. What are we going to do now? Glasses looked to his team and said, unfortunately, I also have to sacrifice you too. Everyone can hit them until they die. The guys were all beat up when a healer came in and fixed them, and then they kept getting healed and beat up. When the guys were finally dead, Glasses asked to Chen Lu, okay, now it's even right. But Chen Lu told him, I don't think so. Are the lives of those people worth of mine? Nah, not enough. This can't be so easy for all of you. The leader of the guys asked, aren't you being too unreasonable? But Chen Lu just answered, why should I be reasonable? Trembling, the guy said, I have never seen such a crazy person like you. Do you really think that I am that afraid of you? Here in our base, everyone has killed zombies, and we have a little more people than you. This is the last time. You guys have to leave now. That's when Chen Lu thinks there's a lot of new people on my team, and they haven't seen my powers. To command people, you have to show power, and some of them never saw me in action. Chen Lu told to everyone to stay back and said, I will go alone. Glasses got confused. What is the meaning of this? This guy wants to be a hero. He's about to get crushed. But Chen Lu is happy thinking, such a cool guy giving me a chance to show off my strength. He takes out his void sword and rushes towards the guy that tries to stop him with his barrier. But the barrier was far from enough and got cut in half. Chen Lu is even getting some buffs from his girlfriend. And with that, he rushes to kill everyone. Even though he was alone, the enemies had no chance. And the people on his side were scared, saying, Boss is too strong. Fortunately, I didn't go against him at first. Strangely enough, Millie is sad with this. She thinks the gap between her and him is really getting bigger and bigger. Now everyone is praising him. He tells to his group that he is sad with the girl's death. But this world now, it's like this. The main reason that they need to hunt every day, it's not just because of the crystals, but also because the real-life battle experience. They need to fight more. He says that but killed everyone alone. Nice. With that, Chen Lu tell them to pack everything and go back home. Next scene, we see two guys drooling over Thunder King, thank you China. One thing's for sure, they are not letting the stereotype die. The guy is thinking, we're about to have a great time. When the woodpecker was about to go, his friend stopped him. He looks back and asks, why are you waiting? The dog is going to run away. His friend says, we have been hungry for more than a day. What if the dog runs very fast? We need something to lure him. The guy says that he's holding a poop for 2 days, and he knows the dogs are always attracted by the smell. Woodpecker guy says that is good strategy, so let's do it. Unfortunately, that didn't work, so they went to take the dog anyways. But the black Pikachu easily got rid of them. Then everyone got back home and Chen Lu told them to practice after the lunch. But he's thinking that they need more people. If they have to fight against a team with more than 100 members, they are bound to lose. All that he wants is people who are willing to collect crystals and obey the rules. So he's going to make a recruitment announcement. Then they make a huge one, but the summary is simple. They offer house, food, and water. All you need to do is obey the rules and hunt zombies. If the person is a support class, they have no requirements. And now the minimum level to enter is 2. Then some guys in the car saw the sign, but not all of them were level 2. Chen Wang told them that if they paid 3 crystals of the first level, they could also join. The blonde guy with long hair said that he was a healer with also strength abilities, so Chen Lu went to talk with them. He took Rice with him and Rice told him that the guys had no bad intentions. Back into his room, Chen Lu feels lucky. It was easier than he thought to recruit more people and even a new healer. And with the juicy crystal, he's going to reach level 5 in this night. When that happens, he's going to become immortal for any level 1 zombie. The crystal breaks and now he's level 5, and all it took for him was 1 month. He passed Rice's head saying, I'm so happy that I have to celebrate with my lay. Rice is angry thinking, once again, I'm alone in this bed. Next day, they're going to hunt on the Xingfu Road in the vegetables market. They get there and Chen Lu explains a strategy for everyone. As always, they're going to use Chen Wang to bring as much zombies as possible. Melee buffs him and he runs around the city baiting all the zombies. That way is really easy for the magical users to kill everything. After 1 hour of hunting, Chen Lu decides to participate. He remembers that in his last life at this moment, a level 4 or 5 mutant was supposed to be in this market. The problem is that he doesn't know the perfect position. Chen Lu just suddenly appears in front of everyone. The zombie with the straw hat is the Earth zombie and uses his powers in Chen Lu direction. But with void walking and level 5 is really easy for him to dodge. 1 second, he's face to face. On the other one, he's already behind cutting its head. Takes the zombie head and runs for his team, bringing a bunch of zombies so everyone can farm. After some time, they were finally able to kill everything. But everyone is exhausted. He brought more than 200. Chen Lu explains to them, everyone needs to get stronger faster because the zombies are getting stronger. He thinks that in the last life, the majority of the people with superpowers were able to survive in the first days. But the problem was they couldn't keep up with how stronger the zombies were getting day by day. Everyone is happy and now they are going back home. But that's when a guy in a truck sees everyone leaving with the supplies. He's a crazy one because he stopped the Chen Lu car with his body. Brother, you got lucky that he didn't run over you. Chen Lu told him don't block the road. And the guy thinks this kid doesn't look easy to deal with. And Chen Lu recognizes the guy. He's Sha Horan, a guy that is going to be known as the Invincible Iron Fist. The Iron Fist guy was begging for the blonde guy for some chicken. But the blonde guy wasn't happy with that and said that he was not going to give him. Chen Lu, seeing the opportunity, says, hey, I have chicken and even a chef here. I can give you all of that for your life. Okay. And the guy accepts and now they are all going back home because of a promise. They are going to help this guy's mother. We see the guy bring his mother from his apartment, and unfortunately, she has a deadly disease. And at this point, melee healing is not strong enough to cure her. But at least he's going to give the chicken soup that he promised. When he arrives at home, he asks to Chen Yuan to prepare a room for the guy's mother, and then to Mayu to do some chicken soup. Some hours later, they have made a feast for her, and the guy's mother is even crying. Boy, this is too expensive. But Chen Lu just tells Auntie, you're welcome here. Let's enjoy all this meal while it's hot. The mother grabs his hands and says, I can see that you are a good person. Please Please take good care of my son. She looks back and tells her son, be wise and honor me. Don't let Chen-Lu down. Be a good person for him. Crying, he tells her that there's no need for her to worry. Outside, when Chen-Lu was looking at the stars, Horan came again to talk with him. Brother, thank you, but my mother is gone. At least you don't have to suffer more. Ken-Lu gave his condolences, and Horan told him, brother, I'm gonna do my best for you. Ken-Lu says that he believes on him. Of course he believes. He knows that this guy was strong in his last life. But the most important thing right now is to establish a sense of hierarchy in this place. He needs to create a set of rewards and punishments. This way it's easy to mobilize everyone's enthusiasm. Of course he's going to be the king. He's going to have the deputy leader, the elders, the elite members, and the ordinary members. And under everything, the new members. And some people are going to have specific functions, like Sudaju and Melee. Right now, those who can reach level 3 can become elite members. The better the position in this place, the more points they get. And those points can be traded for supplies. Next day, he explains the hierarchy for everyone. Ken Yumon is going to lead the women's team, while Feng Yu and Shen Wan are going to be the captains. So from now on with the points system, as long as you dare to fight with your life, you come with a good life. Come on everyone, kill zombies, earn points. That's going to be the motto of this place. Everyone shouts that today's funeral is mine. Some cars were passing through the villa, when a guy rolled down the car window and asked, let me ask you something. Why there's no zombies around here? You know what's going on? His name is Zhao Hai. The guy told him they were all killed. In front of there's a villa with a large survivor base. The people there are really good, and they have food to eat every day. You even say that they have a good life. The guy seems puzzled. He looks to the guy behind him, Jin Tao, the guy with green hair, and asks, shall we go have a meeting with them? They must be pretty good. Green hair says that it's a good idea. Maybe they can even eat some meat. Those are the guys that our boys sold his property before everything happened. It was all because of the mortgages. So in theory, this villa is on their name. But the blonde guy looked back and asked, it's the end of the world. What's the use of money? His friend answered, yeah, it's possible that Chen-Lu just died long ago. Seeing all those guys coming up, the goofy guy is scared. So many cars, we don't have enough people right now. So he takes the walkie-talkie and says, Brother Chen, we need some help. Then Chen-Lu arrives with his team. The guy recognizes him and says, isn't this guy Chen-Lu? And Chen-Lu also recognizes the guy. Why the guy that gave me money is here? The guy gets closer. Brother, I didn't expect to see you under such circumstances. What a fate, isn't it? Chen-Lu replies, I didn't expect to meet you either. Then Zhao Hai asks, brother, are you the person in charge of this place? Ken-Lu just says yes. And the guy reminds him, brother, you know that you owe me 300 million, right? And you should have paid me already. But due to special circumstances, damage and interest are not required. So pay it back now, the 300 at least. Ken-Lu is not liking this and thinks, why does he have this illusion that I'm going to pay back even a cent? And then says, you might not know something about me, but I never rely on other people's money. I actually already gave you the money back. Didn't you look into your bank account? The guy behind shouts, you're a liar. Such a huge sum of money. You think everyone here is a fool? He's smiling and Chen-Lu says, Oak, then you have to go to the bank and show him the evidence that I didn't transfer the money. Chen-Lu is thinking, to be clear, I have no intention of paying back this money. Why should I pay back the money I borrowed based on my ability? I also think is robbery, brother. But Chen-Lu doesn't and says, I'm going to be honest. You guys helped me, so I'm going to give a ton of rice as a thank you. Zhao Hai says, Oak, brother, but you are not being too honest, are you? I think you should give me some of your juicy meat. Asking for a guy's meat is bold. He even made some calculations in his mind. The value of meat right now is different. So you be 15 tons, the debt is settled. Ken-Lu then replies, I have this meat, but I won't give it to you. Why are you going to do? Zhao Hai thinks he's way too confident, and he also cleared all the zombies in this area. He needs to be careful. Suddenly the guy completely changes and says, what a mistake I did. I forgot your money has indeed arrived. But the guy at his side gets angry. Zhao Hai, are you stupid? No, I am not. I was indeed mistaken. Brother, Chen-Lu is not someone who refuses to repay his debts. Ken-Lu says that that's the case. They can now go with their people. Zhao Hai was trying to leave, but his friend was shouting at him. Idiot. They only have these people on their side. Why are you acting like this? You dumb truck. Let's face this Chen-Lu guy and take everything. Ken-Lu shouts. Those who don't want to die go with Zhao Hai. I will give you 10 seconds. Green hair looks to the side, and everyone's is hesitant. The guy creates some blue flames into his hands and Chen-Lu recognizes it's a dark flame from the dark system talents, but it's a pity. The guy summons some skeletons and says to Chen-Lu that he's going to kill him and his soul is going to be devoured and that he is not going to be able to reincarnate forever. Chen-Lu tells his team that it's a good moment to get some points. Thunder King came barking and Chen-Lu asks to Rice what is he saying. Rice explained. He says that you are being racist against dogs. They should also be able to gain points and climb the ranks. Ken-Lu was thinking, damn this dog. I gave him everything, so for what he's going to use these points. But in this case, Oak, I give you some points if you really want it. Thunder King smiles and with one ability, he explodes everyone. Myling tells him to be careful, but he just rushes the guy and he thinks this dog is too doggy. I don't know what he means by that. Now Chen-Lu is done. He wanted to exercise all team members, but a dog ruined the plan. The guy tries to protect himself, shouting, "Don't come here." He even closes his eyes out of fear. But when he opens it again, the dog is just enjoying his time with the ball. He stares at him and gets scared and falls on the floor. The guy rushes to Chen-Lu, hugs his legs, and begs for mercy. Chen-Lu says, "Don't worry, I'm not going to kill you. You are going to help me with some crystals." Of course, part of his plan is to help this guy grow. When this guy gets to level 4 or 5, he's going to kill him and use his crystal. But the guy is just thanking him. "Big brother, thank you so much for being so merciful." Chen-Lu says, "Young man, you are so talented. I'm very optimistic about you. But if you dare to make any small move and try to escape, I will have to break your limbs." Then he tells the guy at his side to lock this guy up. Zhao Hai comes once again to talk with him. "Brother Chen, you are really capable. Sorry for anything that I've said. This is a small gift, a Texas kid's toy." Our boy thanks him and puts into his dimension, thinking, "I'm level 5 now, this has no use for me." So he uses the toy on himself just to show that weapons cannot even reach his body. Zhao Hai falls to the floor thinking that he is so far away. They are on a completely different level. "Chen-Lu, you are too strong." He just says thanks. He grabs the guy's wrist and says, "We have no problem, brother. Why don't we cooperate in the future? Like, are there any members of the light, dark, earth, or natural elements present? Of course, any other support ability is also welcome. Anyone who wants to join can consider it." The K-pop guy goes in the front and says, "Here we have 3 meals a day, even meat sometimes." Why so much hesitation? A lot of guys seem interested now and one shouts, "I don't want to go, I have earth element, please." Then Chen-Lu asks Zhao Hai, "Brother Zhao, you don't mind if I take some of your members, right?" Zhao, with no options, just agrees. But now he knows why Chen-Lu showed his abilities. Everyone is happy and Chen-Lu gave them the mission. "Bring me 10 zombie crystals and you can join as a new member." The guys went to hunt and Zhao Hai tells to Chen-Lu, "Brother Chen, if you need anything in the future, you could come to meet me in the Jinglong Garden. I will live there. But if I ever have trouble in the future, I hope that Brother Chen, for the sake of being a friend, will help me." Chen-Lu says, "Of course, brother." The night falls and that means that it's time for the healing bed. But Manhwa is telling him that she's impressed with the new members. They are all performing very well. She's happy, and she believes that they are going to survive. But Chen-Lu tells her that they have to wait and see how things are going to happen. The mutants are starting to evolve and things are going to get harder from now on. But he thinks that this is actually a good thing, because the stronger the mutants, the better the crystals. And that means that he can also evolve more. Otherwise, they would have no chance against the other creatures that are coming. Next day in the morning, he says to everyone, "Be careful. The fights are going to become more and more severe." Watching everyone going, he knows there's no reason to avoid fights. Or you get stronger and survive, or you die anyways. The best choice is to get as much combat experience as you can. In that moment, Rice says, "Chen-Lu, I have an ominous feeling. I feel that Mayu will be injured, but her life is not full in danger." Chen-Lu finds it strange. Mayu is with Myling, Sudaju, and Thunder King. How she can get injured with all those bodyguards? He looks to Rice, so I should follow them. But then the cat tells him to not go, saying that he needs to let them go and get stronger by fighting. He can be there and help only if they are going to die. Chen-Lu was impressed with the cat. Only level 10 spiritual users can detect this type of imminent danger, so maybe he should use more crystals on Rice. Then we see Sudaju and Mayu fighting in the city. They are facing a lot of level 2 zombies. Up to now, things are going smooth, but a zombie is observing them, and this one seems to be intelligent. He noticed that a group is stronger than your average human, and right now he's the only one here, so he cannot rush this. So he goes to call some other zombies to help him. Then we see a lot of zombies coming for them. But with melee buffs and Myelin powers, things are not that hard. They decide to take a little distance of the zombies, but strangely enough, they seem to be running faster. There's some sort of wind power accelerating their movement, so they have to stop and fight them. That's when the leader of the zombies finds a chance. He's immediately back and takes the chance to attack her. But Milling enters in front and takes the hit. Her arm is bleeding, but she says that she's fine. She uses some of her powers on the zombie, but he easily dodges. Studaju goes in front of the girls to protect them, asking Millie to heal Myling while he rushes. He gets some buffs, and that's when Thunder King notices everything. Seeing the 3 of them fighting, he's scared. He knows that if those guys die, he will be eaten by Chen-Lu. So he attacks from the back. Studaju takes the opportunity to hit with his bat at the monster's head, but once more he blocks. Then Lee buffs Thunder King and he hits the zombie back. With that, he falls on the floor and now it's easy to finish it. Everyone is exhausted, and Thunder King wants to give this crystal to Chen-Lu so he can get a lot of points. Sometime later, he's all smug. Rice tells to Chen-Lu, this stinky dog wants to know how many points for those crystals. Chen-Lu picks one of them. Damn, there are actually level 4 crystals. Thunder King, I will give you 100 points just for this one. He's all happy, and then he gives the crystal to Rice. And Thunder King is thinking, why I'm working to give crystals to a cat? Chen-Lu tells him, if you want, you can keep the crystals, but then I'm not giving you points. Now Thunder King does not want it anymore. Ken and Lu was impressed. Rice's prediction really did happen. The first time when Nikocado Avocado was trying to get her, Rice also told him previously. The strange thing was that Sudaju was involved in everything and even got hurt. But Rice didn't told him anything about this. That means that maybe he can only feel the safety of those around him. And if that's the case, he needs to cultivate this sensibility. Sometime later, they are having a lunch when Thunder King pulls up. Everyone notices. He's getting bigger. Sudaju says that maybe he's eating too much. Thunder King got angry and Rice explains to everyone. Thunder King just reached level 4, that's why he got bigger. Everyone is happy. But Myling is thinking, why my progress is slower than a dog? Then Rice says that Thunder King is asking what he's going to earn for being the first to reach level 4. Ken Lu notices that he probably wants some points, but he asks, for what are you going to use those points since there's no reason? But the dog says, I have a dream, and that is to be an elder dog, and then a captain dog. Maybe someday everyone will call me dog leader. Ken Lu asks what is that dog leader position means. Kicks his ass saying, I feel like this animal wants to take my place. But the dog is behind him barking. Points, points, give me points. Ken Lu says, okay, let me think about it first. That's when someone told him on his walkie-talkie that some brothers from Zhao Hao, the guy that lent him the money, arrived asking for some help. Ken Lu says let him in. Then we see a guy given a red box. Brother Chen, I'm Song Lin Hai. I know that you definitely have plenty of food and drink here. So I come out to pay homage to you with those 100 flowers. But others from Zoho group say that regardless of whether you agree to help or not, these flowers will be given to you. Ken Lu says, okay, what's the problem? The guy explains, he's a supernatural being named Jiang Yu. Suddenly, he appeared on our side, competing with us for supplies and collecting survivors. Brother Hai didn't want any conflict with him, but there was something wrong with this man. He's too crazy. He kept shouting that if Brother Hai doesn't become his little brother, he will destroy us. This guy is really powerful and easily killed 10 of us. Brother Hai has no choice but to ask you for help. Ken Lu is worried it's hard to someone to kill 10 people that has superpowers. That means that he's already at least a level 4, and his crystal is a real good one. So he asks to the guy, what kind of superpower does he have? How did he kill those 10 people? The guy says that no one really knows, but it seems that it was with brute force and no skills. Ken Lu says, okay, I'm going to take a look at it. He tells the guy that he's going home just to see something. Then he picks up Rice and asks him, Rice, do you think it would be dangerous if I go out this time? Rice thinks hard and says that no, it's fine. He can go with a peace of mind. So they're going. In the car, Chen Lu said that the car was nice. The guy instantly told him, if you want, the car can be yours. We can just deliver it for you later, or you can even return to your home with this. There's no problem. Ken Lu was impressed. Those guys, Zhao Hai and Song Lin, they really know how to deal with people. When he got there, Zhao Hai was thanking him. I will always keep this friendship in my mind, Chen Lu. I'm looking forward for the day that I can help you. The guy, Jiang Wu, is really powerful, and the spells that we used on him had almost no effect. Please wait a moment. I will gather people to find him. Then we see a fatty enjoying some babes. He's all happy thinking. Watching some enemies have its benefits. I was able to understand how the crystals work before everyone. Although the food was a bit trash, there was no other way to have so many beautiful women in my lifetime. That's when someone opened his door shouting, Brother Zhao Hai has brought some people here. The guy stands up, saying that they are going to see who they brought this time. Then we see the two gangs outside. The fat guy goes into Zhao Hai's face and says, I gave you a chance, but you're shameless. And now you're here seeking for death. Ken Lu is behind, just observing and thinking. I think it's going to be easy. There's no way I cannot kill this guy with one swing. Zhao Hai tells to the guy Jiang Yu, if you kill the guy that came to me this time, I can become your little brother. Then he tells to his group, anyone who dares to step up and fight against Jiang Wu will get a pound of sausage. He puts Rice to rest and goes. Everyone is hitting the guy with their bats, but nothing is happening. From far away, Chen Lu prepared something. Jiang Wu was confident, but then our boy threw his spatial slash. Brother was cut like a PNG on Photoshop. No one even knows what just happened. Ken Lu steps over the guy and starts to search for his crystal. He couldn't find, but the guy helped him. Ken Lu just said, give it to me. And the guy just gave. Unfortunately, it's just a level 6 crystal, and it has only 25% of its power. At least it's spiritual power, so it's good for Rice. Zhao Hai takes the opportunity to say some encouraging words for everyone, saying that they need to work together. If someone wants to join his side, just let him know. Ken Lu goes to him and says that he has to go home. Zhao tells him that if he needs any help in the future, just let him know. But also he's going to be taking the gold Bentley. Zhao Hai agrees. In the way back, he was having a cute conversation with his cat. When he told him that he had a bad omen, something just happened with the people in his base, and it seems that someone got his breasts enlarged. Ken Lu is confused. What are you talking about? And then they rush to home. Getting there, they see everyone kind of messed up. They explain that they had to fight against 2,000 beasts, and that's why everyone is like that. Ken Lu rushes to Mi Li and asks if she's not injured. She says that she's fine. It's just a small problem. When they were inside the house, she showed him that some spheres were swollen. He thinks that now what Rice told him makes sense. Then we see two brothers, and one of them is dying. With his last breath, he tells his brother, "You're going to join them. Take my crystal and go there. You're going to have food. You're going to have everything." It seems that they were getting crystals to join Chen Lu group. Taking it out of his brother's head, he thinks. Why he asks for these things? Why we need to give him these? Survivors should just help each other. Is those requirements' fault? If it wasn't for them, my brother wouldn't have died. I hate you. I want to bury all of you with my brother. Then sometime later, we see him talk with Chen Lu. I brought the crystals that you asked for. But that's when Rice tells him, "This man, he wants to kill you." Chen Lu is confused. What have I done against this guy? But the guy just asks, "Can I join now?" He says, "Of course, come on. I will show you the place myself." "Rice, you go back first." He's already getting slapped. Chen Lu grabs him and asks, "Tell me, why do you want to kill me? Or who sent you?" The guy don't know what's happening. How did he know? Is this just a test? What's going on? He says, "How could I possibly want to kill you? We just met. I just want to survive in this place." But Chen Lu tells him, "Hurry up. I'm running out of patience." Another one across the face. The guy is confused. What is going on? He's really going to beat me to death. Then he turns on his powers. Ice on the right hand and fire on his left hand and says, "Chen Lu, we are going to fight." Chen Lu is impressed with the double powers. Rushing, the guy says, "It's all your fault. Such harsh conditions made my brother die. While we were fighting, you were sitting at home enjoying your leisure time, teasing cats. You deserve to die." Chen Lu asks, "What are you making?" "It sounds like I caused the end of the world. I didn't beg you to join my team." With tears in his eyes, the guy rushes. "Shut up and just die for my brother." Seeing the duel ability, Chen Lu thinks it's so rare to meet someone with duel abilities. That's a pity, and he cuts the guy in half. Those void blades are sharp. Sometime later, we learn that Rice is now level 4, and told him that one guy was about to die. Chen Lu decided to try to save the guy, so he can see if it's possible to change Rice's death prophecy. In the way, they saw a cat, and the cat attacked the guy. Chen Lu thought, is this zombie cat the reason of his death? So he slapped the cat. But at the same time, Rice started to cough blood. Thunder King was shocked. He didn't know what to do, so he grabbed him to take to Chen Lu. On the way, Chen Lu was thinking this ability is way too good. If it's really true, it's extremely powerful. But that's when Thunder King came crying. He couldn't understand the barking, but he knew that something was wrong at home. So they rushed. When he arrived, he saw Rice fainted in a couch. He grabbed him and noticed that he's still warm and alive. His people scouting the whole area. That means that it's not an outsider thing. Who did it? He asked to Thunder King. Then Melee came running. Why are you looking for me, Brother Chen? He tells her that later he explains. But please save him first. Chen Lu is thinking maybe because I saved the guy and the prophecy backfired on Rice. But it's strange. I already have used his predictions to change my decisions. So why it was different this time? That's when Rice awakes. Telling to Chen Lu, don't worry, I'm fine. And explaining to him that it was indeed because of the prophecy. Chen Lu says that he's sorry. I shouldn't have tried it so recklessly. He explains that he has some sort of destiny dimension. And the further someone is from him, the more taxing it is to change the person's destiny. Chen Lu understood. So it's all about level of intimacy. That means that he can only safely save his life, Mai Li and Mai Ling. Or in short, his abilities should be used with caution. And tells the Thunder King that would be good if he can get closer to Rice. Thunder King kinda didn't want it. But when Chen Lu explained it to him, he was even willing to lick. A month later, Chen Lu is talking with a whole group, telling them that a lot of people have evolved to level 2, but people are insecure. It seems that there's a lot of level 3 zombies right now. Chen Lu explains that the level of the zombies is different from the person's level, and explains that they are going to change the daily requirements. Now they only need to obtain 1 crystal, but it needs to be level 3. That's when someone appears saying that Zhao Hai wants to share some news. He says goodbye to everyone and goes to talk with the guy. Brother, we met again. This time, Brother Hai asked me to bring you a message. Chen Lu just says explain. Someone made a trade fair. He said that he wanted everyone nearby to go. There everyone can discuss how to survive in this war. Brother Hai plans to go. Do you also want to take a look? Chen Lu thinks about it. He remembers hearing something about that in his last life, but he didn't want to. But now that his goal has changed and he wants to have a lot of powerful people by his side, a place where a lot of survivors are going together is a really good one. Some days later, we see a guy offering some babes to our boy. Hey, handsome guy. Do you want to have some fun with those cute girls? You know, our shop sells everything at reasonable prices. 10 pounds of rice or some super crystals will do. Chen Lu didn't like it. It's the end of the world and this guy is trying to use a woman's body to suck their blood and make a living. What a shitty guy. What's more, I'm a good man. So he just walks away, and Zhao Hai tells the guy to vanish. Even Chen Lu group are going to sell some things, and of course they are going to accept crystals as payment. Then we see a lot of guys been thrown around, and Chen Lu recognizes his brother Long, the guy that he bought his subordinate with a chicken. It seems that there was 2 guys fighting for a chicken again, when Chen Lu appears once more and tries to buy the chicken, saying that he's going to give 20 level 2 crystals just for the chicken. Both guys got angry at Chen Lu, and one more tried to grab him by the shoulders, but got punched in the face by Haran. On the floor, the guy says that he's going to kill them, but Horan is confident and he rushes to the guys. One punch, and they fall to the floor. Everyone is running, and the blonde guy is impressed, thinking, I knew he was a good fighter, but I didn't expect the gap to be even wider now with superpowers. How could I have lost someone like him? Ken Lu takes the chicken. Okay, since they are out, now it's mine. Long thinks, no, my chicken is gone. Then they see some vans pulling up with the organizers of the event. Sometime later, they were all in the sports camp. It seems that some sort of auction is going to take place. Zhao Hao tells to Chen Lu about the guy with a white shirt. His name is Gao Fi, and he's the heir of the Yi Fi group. The guy has even some foreign connections, but a person that Chen Lu is interested is the guy with the gray beanie. His name is Long Yufi, and he has a metal-based ability. He can create weapons, and in his last life, this guy even got to the king rank. Ken Lu is already interested. Will I ask for a sword or for a staff? Gao Fei announces to everyone, I'm very happy with everyone that came to this trade fair organized by me. We have a bunch of members in our team and even 3 level 4. Chen Lu is interested. In his place, even with all his help, there's only 4 people, a cat, and a dog at level 4 or above. So this guy is quite powerful and also probably holds a lot of high-grade crystals in his hands. After talking a little bit, Gao Fei showed to everyone a red crystal level 6 and explained that this was the way that a lot of his members were able to get to the level 4. Zhao Hai was impressed. Staring at Chen Lu, he knew that's why he's so strong. He probably has used a lot of high-level crystals. The guy even told everyone about how much experience they should expect from each type of crystal. Ken Lu was impressed. Damn, he's so kind, revealing all this information for free. What is his plan? Then Gao Fei says that it's going to be difficult for people to survive alone. That's why he's gathering everyone to unite and form a collective. Anyone who is powerful can join his team and become even an elder. Ken Lu understood, so he just wants to recruit people. With all the information that he's provided, a lot of people are willing to join. That's when a girl with a dumb face appears. She says that her boss has said it all. If anyone is unwilling to join later, they should not ask for resources. Zhao Hai didn't like the girl. And then everyone receives a paper with some information. Saying the same things emphasize unity and working together. They would treat everyone equally, regardless of rank. Ken Lu knows a lot of juniors from other bases are willing to join this guy now. Gao Fei says, everyone think about it, and anyone who signed it, just come to me. Our boy thinks that this is going to drive a lot of people for death, because strangely enough, he never heard of Gao Fei in his previous life. That means that this guy is going to die even if he doesn't do anything. A guy talks with Zhao Hai and asks him, do you want to kill this guy? He wants to take everyone's subordinates. But Chen Lu says that they don't get involved when kids fight. Sometime later, one of the members is showing him 3 guys that wants to join the team. But he says, brother, our request, you only accept level 3 survivors has attracted the attention of everyone, so be careful. Staring at the guys, Chen Lu is thinking, could it be that someone is trying to infiltrate our ranks? But all he needs to do is ask Rice. And then he tells to everyone, let's go home. And the way back, he saw the girl. Her name is Meng Yang, and she's an Earth-type user. And when it comes to good survivors, our boy is Ash Ketchum, so he goes to talk with the girl. But he came with way too many people, and she gets scared and runs crying. Ken Lu shouts for her, don't run away, I don't mean any harm. But she transforms herself into a rabbit. Unfortunately, it's impossible to run from Chen Lu. He just uses his void walking and grabs her by the ears, then stares at her and says, I really mean no harm. How about you changing back? It's way too dangerous for you to be here. Let's go back. Don't need to say anything. Brother here is going to take you to eat some good food. Back home, Mei Lai is curious. Why did you bring a chicken and a rabbit? He drops Meng Ying in the floor and she turns back into a human. She asks him, why did you pick me up? You captured me by force. But Chen Lu ignores her and asks for Chen Yuan to take her to eat something. Meng Ying says that she's not going to eat anything that he offers her, but there she's eating everything. Ken Lu takes the chance. Hey Meng Ying, didn't you say that even if you starve to death, you wouldn't eat my food? She says that he has way too much food, so she's not feeling guilty. Ken Lu tells her, even if you want to run, I'm going to hug you and forcefully bring you back. Bro got that restraining order. He explains to her they are lacking natural superpowers in this place, so they need her here. All that she needs to do is grow some vegetables, and he's even going to provide meat for her every day. But like, what type of meat are you going to give her? She was thinking that she had no way to escape, so without choices, she's going to help him. He gave her some seeds and told her to plant those. It's going to be a pleasure to work with you. Then he and Su Dashu were talking about the new 3 members. All of them were spies. After the good old torture, they revealed their intentions. 2 of them were sent by Gao Fidi, and 1 of them was sent by Keelin. Ken Lu gives the order, kill them all, and don't make any noise. Let's see what's going to happen. Then the same guy came to talk with him again, explaining that someone went to talk with Zhao Hai to discuss how to deal with Gao Fei, and the person asked for them to invite Chen Lu. Out of curiosity, Chen Lu decides to go. Then we see a desk with some people discussing how to deal with Gao Fei. The guy with the polo shirt says that he has a way to deal with Gao Fei, so he's going to take 30% of all his supplies. Ken Lu interrupts and says, if that's the case, I'm not joining you guys. Kaylin, or the guy with the polo, says, little brother, be careful with what you say. You have to participate. Don't you know how things happen in this circle? If you are not going with us, you are against us. Zhao Hai is perplexed. I told him to not mess with Chen Lu. And our boy is thinking, what? If I don't participate, he is going to kill me? Kaylin keeps saying, why you don't want to join us? You are only going to lose things. The guy smoking at his side speaks. Maybe he wants to sneak when we attack so he can take everything from our bases. Zhao Hai stands up. Brothers, I guarantee that Chen Lu would never do something like that. He just doesn't want to join this fight. But Kaylin says, I don't believe in this guy. He has to kneel and apologize for everyone here. Zhao Hai replies, I warn you guys, but now is with you. Chen Lu just asks, you are very brave and I want to see what you are going to do with me. Kaylin threatens him. Oak, I know you are quite capable. You're probably a level 4, and that's strong. But can you deal with hundreds of people? Since you have grown so fast, I'm sure that you have some crystals in your body. Give me them, and I spare your life. Chen Lu understood everything. So he was trying to create a conspiracy from the get-go, just looking for an excuse to deal with him. 4 guys surrounded Chen Lu, and Kaylin told them to search his body. The precious crystal must be on him. Little boy, I advise you, don't move or the consequences are going to be ugly. They were going to grab Chen Lu and he was saying, I didn't want to do anything to you. He knew that this is the guy that was going to kill Gao Fei. But unfortunately, he has to do something now. Next second, he's behind the guy. He turns his head just to get slapped across the face. Chen Lu slaps him once more. I'm asking you, how do you plan to kill Gao Fei? But Kaylin is motivated. I'm not going to tell you anything, if you dare kill me. And all the guys are surrounding him again. Chen Lu says, I don't like threats, and slapped him again. Bro, I've seen some family-friendly girls getting less spanked than that. Everyone is telling him to stop, he's crazy. But our boy says, are you going to tell me? Kaylin with his red cheeks says, I've never been beaten like that since I was 13. If you want, beat me to death and we will die together. Chen Lu grabs his neck. He's really a tough guy and had some potential. It's a pity that he messed with me. Some guys ran to try to save their boss, but he's gone already. And now Chen Lu knows he has to be the one that is going to deal with Gao Fei. Sometime later, Zhao Hai is thinking, I knew it would be like this. Bunch of bodies on the floor and the other guys are running. Chen Lu thinks that he didn't want to kill anyone. But what he can do, always smiling, he turns to everyone else. Brothers, don't be afraid. I'm not going to kill everyone. As long as you guys don't mess with me, I'll never be the one that takes the initiative to cause trouble. And also, I don't want to take all your manpower. You guys can have your members. Everyone understood and replied, don't worry, Chen Lu, we don't dare to provoke you. The guys were all scared talking with each other. Bro, it was so scary. How can a level 4 be so powerful? And now, what are we going to do? What if we talk with Gao Fei? He has 3 level 4s. Maybe he can kill Chen Lu. Then we see Long Yufi, the guy with the gray hair, that our boy wants him to join his team. A guy came to talk with him, saying that his wife was killed and clapped by other guys in this base. You guys know what I mean. Long Yufi asked him, are you sure? Crying, the guy told him, I'm pretty sure, bro, I saw them. There's no humanity at all in this killing. Then Long Yufi went to talk with the guys. He stopped at the door and heard one of them saying, it's a pity that she died so early. I was having so much fun. I can only look for another one now. Yufi opened the door and asked, what are you guys doing? The guy replied, Brother Long, what are we doing? That's when Gao Fei intervened. Brother Long, what are you doing? Long told him this guy killed the guy's wife and even clapped her. He deserves to die. But Gao Fei says, Long Yu, calm down, bro. I know this is wrong, but he does not deserve to die. He can kill more zombies and that would make up for his mistakes. But Long Fei him, this doesn't make up for his mistakes. I'm more valuable than him, and I want him dead. The guy then replies, Gao Fei, you have to help me since I'm taking the blame for you. So it was all Gao Fei's doing. He even goes to his face and says, Gao Fei takes care of everyone. What if he just wants to have some fun with a few women? That way he can keep his mind clean and even save more people. Long says, so that was your plan. You're not letting people because you want them to survive. You just want to feel like a king and take over some woman. You know what? I'm going a different path. Goodbye. The guy behind him says that Brother Long Yufei cannot go. What if he tells your story to everyone? But Gao Fei replies, there's too much people that knows Long Yufei. We cannot kill him like that. Let's just say that he was the one that was having relations with all the girls. When everyone is against him, we just kill him. Getting out of the base, Long Yufi was thinking, I'm so naive. All that I wanted was for people to help each other to survive. How we can get more simpler than that? Where I'm going next? That's when the guys that are planning to kill Chen Lu appeared. Brothers, we are here to surrender. We want to see Gao Fei. There's a guy that goes by the name Chen Lu, and we need to kill him. Then we see Horan telling to Chen Lu that he just reached level 4. Chen Lu explains that now he can control which part of his body gets stronger. Since he used to be a boxer, he needs to concentrate his powers into his hands. Horan thanks him and says that if it's his suggestion, of course he's going to try it. Then Chen Lu receives a message. Brother, Zhao Hai is looking for refuge in our base. He says that Gao Fei is coming to our base. Then we see Chen Lu asking him, how did Gao Fei find my base? Zhao Hai explains it's those brothers from yesterday. They took refuge with Gao Fi and now they want to kill you. Ken Lu thinks that's why I should have killed everyone. That's what I gained by sparing some lives. Ken Lu tells to everyone in the base, listen, everyone be ready to defend this place. The enemy is coming for us. Then we see a lot of cars driving to their base. Seeing Chen Lu's base, he thinks it's a really good one. It's a pity that he has to finish this guy. He takes a megaphone and says, we have 2,000 people, more than 76 at the 3rd level, 1,500 the 2nd level, even 2 people at the 4th level. I advise you to surrender. Those who leave this base are going to be my brothers from now on. The first 10 people to surrender are going to get some rewards. 2 bottles of water and 2 ham sausages. Gao Fei is confused. Why isn't anyone coming out? It's such a great offer. Inside Chen Lu's board, even the most ordinary member in my team eats better than that. And also, where's Long Yufi? Why you didn't came with the guys? Gao Fei then looks to his team and says, since they don't want to get saved, we are going to act, and tells the guy behind him, you go first, take your people, and kill them. I'm going to give you more credit for this, but the guy is scared, my people. Go first. The girl asks him, why are you refusing? He replies, even if I'm willing, I don't think my team wants to be the vanguard. No one is willing to die that much. When Gao Fei looked to his team, everyone was hesitant. Not me. I'm not going. And Chen Lu was getting even more bored. Is this a joke? Then Chen Lu just threw an apple and everyone got scared. How someone can have fresh fruits? This is impossible. Gao Fei goes and talks with the girl. Those guys are useless. So why don't you go ahead first? I will ask for someone to have some defenses for you. We need to finish this fast or we are going to lose the morale in our teams. You are my only support, you will help me, right? And with those words, the girl decided to go. From the top of the cliff, Chen Lu members were throwing some flame powers, but the enemies with earth element could easily defend. When they broke the gate to enter, Mai Ling and Chen Yuan appeared. One fireball and everyone exploded. The girl knew those are powers of level 4 people. How they can have so many level 4s? Chen Lu tells Thunder King, what are you doing here, bro? Go get some. He went flying. Using his abilities, he was easily exploding everyone. Thunder King now even walks like a human and easily defeats Gao Fei. When everyone saw Thunder King over Gao Fei, they surrendered. One of those guys shouted, don't kill me, I'm a priest, I know how to heal. Ken Lu went to talk with the guy. He said, brother, please don't kill me. My name is Lu Wen. I have the light attribute. Ken Lu asks, okay, then you have to answer with honesty. Why Long Yufi is not here? Why is he staying at the base? The guy says, he is not in the base. He was kicked out of the base by Gao Fei. He was using his powers to have some fun with the girls. Ken Lu tells him Long Yufi is not such a person. The guy explains, yeah, it was Gao Fei who did everything. But you put the blame on Long Yufi so that he could kick him out of the team. Ken Lu asks for a favor to Zhao Hai. Bring your people there and fix everything. I'll treat you to a feast when everything is done. Then he tells to his team, everyone listen. Let's drive to Gao Fei's base and get all the supplies. Thunder King came asking for points. And Chen Lu told him, when I come back, I give you some points, okay? Just protect the base. Some of the Zhao Hai members were thinking about joining Chen Lu, but they knew that they would just be some cannon fodder members. At least with Zhao Hai, they have some sort of voice. Zhao Hai said, if Chen Lu is willing to promote us for elite members, maybe we should actually join him. The guy's a bunch of high-level crystals, and if he keeps growing at this speed, someday he will be too far ahead for us to join. Then they were in Gao Fei's base taking everything. Ken Lu saw something, a female dog. He checked her and thought, Thunder King, I have found you a wife. Isn't that better than points? Back home, he thanks Zhao Hai and tells him that he can come over later for a barbecue lunch. Zhao Hai thanks him. When he was about to enter home, Thunder King was staring at him. Where are my points? But Chen Lu showed him the female dog, Thunder King. Look at what I got for you, brother. After seeing the dog, Thunder King started to cry. He thought that Chen Lu was going to abandon him. But Chen Lu explained that this was a wife for him. After analyzing the dog, Thunder King said that Golden Dog was not worthy of him. So Chen Lu tells him, okay, I'm going to give you to the girls. At least they are going to give you some affection. Then he gives the points to the dog that now has 1,500. And that's enough to trade those points for the elder position. Chen Lu was staring at him like, bro, why you want so much this position? But okay, tomorrow we do this. Sometime later, Zhao Hai came to the barbecue. Damn, that's so luxurious, he thought. Ken Lu told him, you helped me a lot. So this barbecue is a thanks. You can even take a pound of beef. Before the dinner begins, Chen Lu made an announcement. Listen, everyone. A member got 1,500 points to satisfy the elder position. You guys will have to show a lot of respect. Everyone was thinking 1,500 already. I got like 3 points a day. How he gets so much? Chen Lu said, everyone, this is the new elder member. All gracious Thunder King showed up. People were like, what? How a dog became an elder? And the first one, bro, it's Thunder King. But everyone knows his strength. Ken Lu said, why are all you guys stunned? You should call him the elder dog from now on. Then everyone said, yes, elder dog. Jesus, why I'm doing that. I'm trying to survive, not to play house. But everyone at least was happy. Then we see Long Yufei outside the base. Guy was telling him this is where the guy that killed Gao Fei lives. It said that he has a lot of level 4 members. Why don't we go to check it out? Long Yuffie said, okay, let's go over and take a look. Outside, they were impressed. Damn, they are eating barbecue. How this base can be so good? That's when Shenlu told him, what are you thinking about? If you want to eat anything here, you have to make some contribution. You need to get at least a level 3 and need to go out to kill zombies every day. Long Yuffie lost his smile. Unfortunately, some of his members are not level 3, but his members told him, you go first, brother. We can keep leveling up, and then we can join you. But some of the other members were saying, bro, you have such a good ability. Why am I going to try to negotiate some conditions? Somewhat insecure, he went to talk to Shenlu. Brother, my name is Long Yuffie, and I'm level 4. Could you send a message to the person in charge of this place? Shenlu said, I'm the one in charge here. Can you explain why your team wants to join with mine? Long Yuffie explains it's because I'm also someone who wants to kill all the zombies as fast as possible so this world can return to normal. Shenlu said, I see. But he knows it's impossible to kill all the zombies, and he asked him about his abilities. Long said, I'm able to control metal and my physical strength is not weak. Shenlu replied, so you can turn your body into metal? Let me test it. He opens his arms. Okay, test it, brother. Shenlu told him be careful and punched his chest. He was sent back and was impressed. What just happened? I already got punched by level 3 guys and this has never happened against me. How he can be so strong? Shenlu told him I'd only use 50% of my strength and explained to him, Long Yuffie, can you take metal and change your form? Or maybe unite 2 metals and make them more sharper and stronger? He instantly transformed the metal pipe into liquid, but Shenlu told him now transform that in gold and gave him a golden ring. You should familiarize yourself with the structure of gold atoms and give it a try. Not even Long Yuffie knew that this was possible with his powers, but after trying he saw that it was doable. How I did it? And then Shenlu explained it to him. Now you know where your real value lies. You can transform metal and make them stronger and harder. That means that you can create the best weapons. So it's best for you to not put yourself at risk. With all that being said, you're more than welcome to join us, Long. If you haven't had dinner yet, you can come to our barbecue party. Then we see a girl surrounding the base. Found it. That's where my little Meng Yin must be. And then she uses a stealth ability. She's walking around thinking, Meng Yin, don't be afraid. I'm going to save you. Meng Yin is that girl that has the nature powers. But there, she's enjoying some juicy chicken. That's when her friend appears and said, I've been hungry for several days trying to find you, and you are here eating fried chicken outside a room. Thunder King heard everything. Then Shenlu went running. Someone was able to infiltrate our base. He knows that he needs the girls who can plant vegetables. He opens the door and asks, who are you and how did you get in? Meng Yin explained it. She's my friend and she can get invisible. That's how she infiltrated there. Shenlu thought invisible and also her friend. This is a really rare ability. I must capture this one. So he says, so it's a friend of you. I just brought Meng Yin here because I saw that she was alone. I'm sorry for making you worried. We have a lot of other girls here, so why you don't join us? You're going to have food, water, and even some company. She replies, all right, but nothing is free. Why you want me to do? He asks for all the information in other mutants that she knows. And she tells him about a mutant that is surrounded by crystals. He was probably someone that had good powers but was killed. Shenlu knows if he was killed by another person, that person wouldn't take the crystals. So that means that he was killed by some zombie. And that zombie is strong and is around here. And then she explained where the zombie was. Next day, when Shenlu was going, Zhao Hai told something to him. Brother, I think we should all escape from here quickly. We saw the zombie and he was 100 meters away. But in a second, he appeared behind my men and killed everyone. Shenlu asked if he's smart. Zhao Hai said yes, also he's really powerful. It's impossible to deal with that. He's way too fast and even uses some sort of wind blade. All the members are scared. Bro, we could only escape because he didn't chase us. But he's coming in this direction. I think we should all run from here. That's when Rice came and explained to him. Shenlu, you are dead today. Shenlu was shocked. What did you say? It's impossible since I have the void walking. How I'm going to die today. He grabs Rice, puts him on the floor. Explain for me carefully. Rice says, I'm feeling that you are probably going to die. Something is coming, and it's extremely dangerous even for you. Unless you leave a like on this video to help Mamoru make more juicy content for you. Do you remember that the last chapter ended when Rice came and said he was going to die today? Shenlu asked what that was all about, and Rice explained that he felt the guy was going to die but also had a chance to gain great benefits. Shenlu thinks that according to what Rice said, it's a creature of at least level 7, but he doesn't remember anything like that appearing in his past life. And what's this business about incredible benefits? Because a crystal from a level 7 monster wouldn't be that good for him anyway. He asked the cat if Myling and Millie are in danger, and it says no. When he gets home, Dahai asks if they're going to flee, and Shenlu says they're staying. The guys are scared, but he says they can hide in the house until he deals with it. At that moment, Sugavishu and the sisters were coming back from a hunt, but they were being watched from behind a tree. While Millie talked about being starving, the guards at the gate pointed and asked what that was. At the same instant, the zombie disappeared and was already in front of the two. The trio turned to see the commotion, and the monster had already killed 3. Chen-Lu ran over and told Rice to hide. He drew the blade from the void, teleported behind it, and hit it squarely, but he couldn't cut the creature. Now he understood it was at least level 8 or 9 actually. Chen-Lu fell into the group that was confused about what was happening. He teleported again and went to hit the monster, but this time he almost got grabbed. It also had the same element as him. He fell to the ground and the guys called for him, but the zombie turned and looked at the sisters. Chen-Lu hadn't yet confirmed if he could teleport with people, but even without experience, he had to risk it and got close to everyone. He activated his power but ended up far away and alone. Millie was about to be attacked. Once again, the sly guy teleported to the front. He stood still, commanding the zombie to die. It seemed like he had a plan with a crystal in his head. Suddenly, the monster felt something and fell to the ground. Chen-Lu seemed tired and also passed out. Millie, crying, approached to heal him, and Sugaishu ordered everyone to be brought home until things stabilized. In the room, the Thunder King was angry, asking why Chen-Lu was the only one hurt. Everyone was praying while Rice was angry because he already said the guy would wake up, but no one believed him. The only detail is that it took him 2 days to wake up. When he opened his eyes, Millie and the Thunder King were still beside him. He seemed a bit disoriented, wondering if he used time acceleration. He remembers another person from his past life who was the only one he knew that also had that. Once when he was stealing food from a garden, Myling came scolding him. He tried to escape with the void walk but stood still, not understanding what was happening. And with that, Myling kicked him. The girl next to her was Jiang, who had a time-affecting ability but could only use it on one person. He remembers that when she died, he put her body and crystal inside the dimension, but didn't expect it to have any effect. Chen-Lu asks about the zombie, and she shows him the crystal. Seeing that damn level 8 crystal, he said he suffered too much because of it. Then he hands it to the Thunder King, saying it would help him reach level 5 quickly. But the damn dog refused, saying he would charge a lot of points for it. Chen-Lu said no, that he would even gain if he reached level 5. Then the sly guy took it. Millie said it was good for him to eat soon, and he ordered the Thunder King to have someone prepare something. With that, he pulled Millie close, saying she worked hard. He hugged her while thinking it was great to have someone who cares about you by your side. That boy is in love. The scene shifts to some guys surrounding an elephant. The girl on top says they better not blame her for having to kill everyone there. Some guys on the ground say she'll pay dearly when the boss's dog arrives. She was confused, wondering what kind of dog they were so confident about ending her elephant. However, she was crushing everyone with the elephant from Google Images. From afar, the beast looked gigantic, but there were 2 wolves observing it. At home, the girls were pampering the new dog until they informed Chen-Lu that a giant elephant was approaching. Chen-Lu remembered a tamer named A Cheng and wondered why he had come there. He arrived at the door and asked Mylan if she had an amazing dog there. Seeing the golden retriever, he said it looked like a strong and brave dog. The girls were confused, wondering why he thought that was a combat dog. The crazy guy on top of the elephant told the dog to come, claiming he wasn't doing anything. Feeling confident, Myling offered to go for a duel. However, the Thunder King wanted to go because he knew he would earn points from this mess. But Chen-Lu stopped him, saying everyone needed practice too, otherwise he would finish off all the enemies himself. Myling was exuding an aura of fire, and the guy on the elephant said it was her request. He hit the redhead with the trunk, but our boy noticed she had already activated her new ability. As the elephant caught fire, the boy was ejected. As soon as he hit the ground, he ordered his group to kill that girl. Chen-Lu didn't like this because it was supposed to be a one-on-one fight. Myling collapsed from exhaustion, and Chen-Lu said it was time for everyone to join in. The guy was already terrified and tried to flee. However, Chen-Lu simply ordered the Thunder King. Knowing he would get points, the little dog desperately went after the fool. He tried to escape but ran into the 2 wolves and got bitten. The Thunder King immediately claimed he won his points. The guy fell dead on the ground and the wolves were startled. Strangely, the crazy dog said the white she-wolf was very beautiful. They ran off and he followed, grabbing her and saying they needed to be friends. The other wolf stared at him, but he wasn't afraid. He was going to steal the guy's girl. The group was watching as some wolves arrived. Chen-Lu smiled, realizing the dog had a crush. However, its happy face was over the top while the other was exhausted. He grabbed the 2 by the backs and told them to return home. In the room, he kicked the dog, saying he didn't know how to approach people and that the she-wolf admired strength, so he needed to learn not to embarrass his master. He kicked him in the butt again, telling him to stop humiliating the group. Chen-Lu knew that one of the current problems was that the zombies would reach level 4 and become much smarter. This meant they wouldn't just wander randomly, but also start planning to hunt survivors. He then pulled out a map, saying it was time to prepare a new base. He remembered a small area that would be good and decided to take the group there tomorrow to clear it out. On the way, he warned that the only problem was the giant mosquitoes, whose bites hurt. Yikes. Suddenly, a guy was being lifted by the neck by a big-headed zombie. Strangely, this one could talk, and carrying 2 said that this was enough. Chen-Lu approached, recognizing it as a level 5. The monster said he was the metal head, so he should step aside. But Chen-Lu ducked and kicked the creature in the balls. The monster groaned, saying it wasn't resistant there. Chen Lu said enough and slapped the monster to the ground. He approached and started beating it up. The monster apologized and Chen Lu told it to crouch down, ordering it to enter a tunnel and not come out until given the command. Meanwhile, on the beach, there was a giant crab with a blue aura, and some people nearby noticed there were creatures capable of manipulating water. Knowing this, they realized they couldn't stay there because its tsunami would soon come. A guy named Feng Zhenking ordered them to prepare supplies to flee the place. Fast forward a month, Chen Lu was interviewing a guy who seems to be hiding resources. The guy says he wasn't hiding them but was threatened by another man named Feng Zhenking. That name caught Chen Lu's attention as he recognized him from his past life as one of the most talented individuals. While the guy was apologizing to Chen Lu, someone called him and informed him that Feng Zhenking was at the door wanting to meet him. In the meeting, Feng apologized to Chen Lu and offered half of everything they collected, ensuring they could survive comfortably and would share everything if needed. Chen Lu seemed to appreciate the guy's honesty and agreed to accept the 300 tons. However, while shaking hands, he mentioned he knew Feng wasn't just there to deliver supplies. Chen Lu told the K-pop guy downstairs that they had something to discuss. In the conversation, Feng explained he had significant influence in his former city, but the sea underwent various changes, altering marine creatures completely. He believed these monsters would soon attack and proposed a partnership with Chen Lu, saying they would survive together as Feng wasn't weak either. Chen Lu pondered over this, knowing Feng wasn't easily deceived. Feng, envious of Chen Lu's massive base, asked for a part of the base to protect and live in, offering a member who could grow vegetables in return. Chen Lu got angry, realizing the scoundrel wanted a partnership and a piece of the base. Chen Lu said he wouldn't risk his people's lives, so Feng had to accept all conditions. However, Feng claimed Chen Lu was being arbitrary and should listen to the more powerful person. Annoyed, Chen Lu asked if Feng thought he was stronger. Feng explained he had reached level 5 over a month ago, and although he might not destroy the place at once, he would eventually win a war. Our protagonist asked if that was a threat, thinking his dog had reached level 5 a month and a half ago. Feng then suggested a duel, a 3-on-3 battle where the winner would command the base. Chen Lu immediately agreed, setting the duel for sunset on the other side of the city. The only thing Chen Lu didn't want was to kill Feng because he knew Feng would become strong in the future, which would be helpful against the zombies. But if Feng became too disobedient, he would lose his usefulness. Perhaps it would be best to make a small mistake and accidentally kill him in the duel. That's what the two sly guys were thinking. The duel time arrived and everyone gathered in the square area. Chen Lu sent Sudaju ahead. Feng, seeing that he seemed like the fortification type, sent a guy with an earth element. They faced off and the duel began. The guy activated his spell and aimed it at Sudaju, who realized he could pass through if he were a bit thinner, but he had been eaten a lot with Chen Lu. While he was blocked by the rocks, the guy created a swamp under him. From a distance, Chen Lu thought the guy had the potential to reach level 10. Once again, a rock attack came, but Sudaju stood still, his body immune to it. The leader in Yusun was in disbelief that his attack didn't leave a scratch. As Sugashu approached, the guy decided to surrender. In the next match, they brought a level 3 zombie. Everyone found it strange, surprising Chen Lu, who told his team that if they were bringing a zombie, they would bring one too. At that moment, the metalhead zombie asked for something to eat. Chen Lu kicked it, saying it was obedient but complained too much, then ordered it to kill the doll on the other side. Feng Zhenking was terrified of how Chen Lu always had something prepared. The zombies faced each other. The problem was that Chen Lu's zombie lost its head and went toward a girl. He knew she was the one who could grow vegetables, so she couldn't die. He pulled the chain of the monster, who complained about being starving. Chen Lu replied it would get fed tomorrow, but the creature screamed, accusing him of lying. Now Chen Lu was contemplating ending it. Suddenly, the monster lost its head and broke the chain. He realized it had undergone a mutation, reaching at least level 5. The monster had grown and he tried to strike its leg. Seeing that it didn't cut, he knew its physical strength had increased. Standing, the creature declared it would now crush him. Chen Lu barely dodged, pulled a giant blade from the void, and said it was time to test his weaknesses again. He attempted a slash, but nothing happened. It seemed the mutation had strengthened that area particularly. Dodging another attack, he delivered a cut, thinking the creature was oddly stronger than it should be. At least it would be a good fight now. He stepped back, facing the monster, preparing for an attack. The creature, on the other hand, said it felt something strange. Chen Lu noticed an opening in its belly, wondering if he was finally creating the spatial cut he had been trying for so long. The sly one drew a giant aura blade. Suddenly, a red tornado came at him. It was Feng Zhenking, who thought it would be too dangerous to let Chen Lu alive. Surrounded by the hurricane, nothing happened to Chen Lu. Feng Zhenking found it impossible since that was his strongest move. Chen Lu warned that if he wanted to kill him, he would have to be much stronger. Feeling embarrassed, Feng apologized, admitting he was somewhat wrong. Chen Lu returned to the creature, which begged not to be killed, but it was cut down and fell to the ground. Feng immediately recognized from the size of the crystal that it was at least a level 8 creature. Trembling, he acknowledged Chen Lu as the new leader. Our protagonist approached, asking what that sneaky attack was about. Feng was about to apologize but received a slap to the face. He was about to call them brother but got another hit, questioning who his brother was. Feeling desolate, Feng admitted he was now the younger brother. Chen Lu then told the girl beside him that according to their deal, Feng's people would have to join his team and ordered her to gather all the talented ones. She started talking about who was useful and who had useless powers. Feng realized he was in trouble but was willing to start a new city from scratch. He asked Chen Lu to spare him, promising his people would join the protagonist. Chen Lu agreed, and Feng announced to everyone they could join Chen Lu because he was no longer worthy of being their leader. As soon as he finished speaking, he ran away desperately, fearing being killed from behind. Our guy just gave a knowing look to the malicious dog. With that, he knew exactly what to do and even gave a thumbs up. The poor fellow was far away and exhausted, thinking he was lucky Chen Lu hadn't sent anyone. But looking back, he saw a black dog and wondered why that thing was following him. The Thunder King activated his power and went in for a hug. The next second, the poor guy was lying on the ground, wondering if he had died from a dog. Chen Lu now had a problem. He had 1,500 survivors, and Feng also had 1,500 more. He needed a way to reduce the numbers, so he told everyone to pass the test of collecting crystals for everyone with a limit of 4 days. At that moment, the Thunder King returned, obviously asking for points and crystals. Chen Lu took the crystal and said he would receive 500 points for the completed task. Now it was time to check the constructions. Meanwhile, in another area of the base, giant insects were arriving. Horan was beating all the creatures. However, Chen Lu told him to stop because he knew a use for those creatures. A monster was complaining to a girl who could understand insects. She explained that the creature was whining about eating a lot of feces and getting beaten. Chen Lu assured it that it wouldn't have to worry anymore and would have enough food. Meanwhile, a guy went to tell Dahai that Chen Lu was relocating and moving all the members. Dahai replied that his administrative skills were no longer important. It was best for them to disband and join Chen Lu as soon as possible. They arrived at Chen Lu's base, which had gigantic walls and full coverage. Dahai noticed the distance between them was only increasing. Chen Lu went to meet them, asking what Dahai wanted. Dahai said he wanted to join and have a meal, and Chen Lu agreed, thinking Dahai had been loyal so far, so he wouldn't treat him badly. Pulling Dahai by the arm, Chen Lu mentioned he was forming 2 intelligence groups, and the second one would be perfect for Dahai to manage. As they entered the base, everyone was astonished by the structure. From above, others watched in disbelief. A guy with a red bandana explained that only people of at least level 4 were accepted there. A guy in a blue shirt was impressed and said they would need to give a generous gift to be accepted. During the meeting with Dahai, someone interrupted, saying they brought gifts. Chen Lu asked to bring the person in, and an embarrassed guy entered, saying he brought something to please Brother Chen. Unfortunately for him, Chen Lu remembered these people had once blocked his escape with Sudazu in his past life, leading to Sudazu's death. Although the guy hadn't done anything yet, he would have to pay for it. Chen Lu wouldn't let the guy escape easily. He planned to extract maximum resources and powerful members first. The guy asked if Chen Lu liked the gift, and Chen Lu said it was incredible, declaring that anyone against the guy was against him too. The guy called some friends who brought extremely resistant mutant turtle shells. Chen Lu knew it was one of the best materials and said he needed to check it out by the beach. Someone in a car crashed into a zombie. It was Chen Lu, and the zombie banged on the window, saying it wanted to cooperate with him. These creatures were getting too smart. Even Chen Lu was impressed with them negotiating at level 4. The zombie told him to bring many humans for him to eat. Chen Lu asked what he would get in return, and the zombie replied that he would gain life until Chen Lu slapped him. Grabbing the zombie by the neck, Chen Lu slapped him again. The creature wanted to say something, but got another beating. Now on his knees, the zombie apologized. Chen Lu then said that in 2 days, some humans would pass by and he needed to bring many strong creatures, but it was better if he came personally. Otherwise, Chen Lu would hunt him down. The scene shifted to the beach where something caught the turtle's attention. It was Chen Lu approaching quickly. He almost got bitten, but dodged. Drawing the void blade, he slashed through 3 turtles, collected their innards, and stored the shells. Suddenly, he was startled by a gigantic turtle in front of him. He saw it was laying eggs and thought it would be insane to have a turtle king's egg. It was the perfect chance to steal some and raise them. However, the creature noticed him. Chen Lu knew it was risky, but he wanted those eggs. The monster came to bite him, but he dodged and slashed its neck. The attack did nothing. He wondered if it was a Blastoise. The creature was not only fighting well, but also seemed very intelligent in combat. Realizing the danger, Chen Lu devised a plan. He retreated, luring the creature to charge at him, then teleported to the eggs. The monster was confused, but the next moment, Chen Lu was already leaving with all the eggs. 2 days later, Chen Lu asked Rice if he sensed any danger, and Rice replied no. It was time to set the trap he had been planning, so he said he would go out. Rice was puzzled, wondering why he couldn't sense Chen Lu's danger accurately anymore. Perhaps there was a cooldown period for each person's danger sense. Chen Lu went to meet the zombie he had encountered. The zombie ordered an attack on him. In the next moment, Chen Lu almost got hit by a spatial cut and had to retreat. He wondered why that bastard had brought a zombie with spatial abilities. Seeing its speed, Chen Lu knew it was at least level 9. Despite his fear, he trusted Rice's foresight. He hid behind a rock, and the zombie asked if he was also a spatial ability user. At that moment, Chen Lu was trapped in a spatial cage, and the creature came from the side. Unable to move, Chen Lu tried to stab it in the chest, but it had no effect, and the monster attacked again, scratching his arm. He teleported behind it to use the time acceleration ability. The problem was that if he overused it, the crystal granting the power might break, but he had no choice. With the weapon on the creature's back, he continued accelerating its lifespan to age and kill it. The creature didn't die immediately and turned to attack again. However, with its life drained, it collapsed. Looking at its own hand, the monster said it would kill him, but Chen Lu was relieved it had worked. From afar, the other zombie wondered how the leader died. He concluded he had to flee to avoid being killed by Chen Lu. However, Chen Lu appeared in front of him, saying he was very fast, asking where all his courage went to bring someone to kill him. The monster apologized, but Chen Lu said he wouldn't kill him. He handed over some turtle meat and told him to keep bringing powerful zombies. Obviously, Chen Lu's plan was to use the zombie to bring other zombies and continue evolving. As he entered the base, people wanted to bring him loads of information about everything happening. Daha had completed the intelligence part and reported on the evolved people. One notable individual was a guy named Jinyuan Jiang who had an earth power, and Chen Lu knew he would be strong in the future. He passed the news to Daha and ordered him to recruit the guy. Then he received a message about someone named Jiaxian seeking shelter, offering a level 7 crystal. Chen Lu knew this meant she was in big trouble. However, for him, it was perfect. The base would be a sanctuary where, as long as you paid the right price, you could find shelter. In a mansion in the mountains, a guy mentioned that Jiaxian had run to Chen Lu's base with the crystal. The angry man in the hat said they had to deal with it. His friend tried to stop him, calling it madness to go against Chen Lu, but he struck one of the cells, summoning a zombie and saying it was time to act. However, the zombie was lazy and wasn't interested. While the leader was pleading, someone came in, announcing that their base was being invaded and they couldn't stop it. Before he could respond, a slash cut through the middle. He turned to see Mo Ning, who declared he had come to clean the base. The leader ordered the zombie to attack. The creature told him to leave the territory, but Mo Ning vanished like Chen Lu and appeared behind, slashing the leader. The girl apologized for being late, but he reassured her. She couldn't stop praising him, calling him incredible, strong, and wonderful. She showed him a message from Chen Lu, stating that as long as you pay enough, he would handle any problem. The guy found this claim bold and wanted to embarrass Chen Lu. Meanwhile, at his base, Chen Lu was eager to see the creature hatch. He got excited when a little turtle appeared. Picking it up, he got a spit blast in the face from the baby. He didn't expect this newly hatched creature to have a level 2 ability. He then thought of using the time acceleration ability to age them quickly. At that moment, he received a message on his walkie-talkie that some guys arrived with hostages. Their leader named Mo Ning said Chen Lu had to go to the mountain. Chen Lu found it strange since he didn't remember offending this guy. Hearing about Mo Ning's powers, Chen Lu wondered if he also had a void sword. At the meeting spot, the girl told Mo Ning it was impossible for Chen Lu to have the guts to come there. Mo Ning drank calmly, saying he hoped Chen Lu would come. Otherwise, it wouldn't be interesting. Just then, Chen Lu appeared in front of everyone, confusing them. A man in a tree asked Chen Lu for help, and Chen Lu told him to stay calm. Mo Ning admired Chen Lu's courage to come alone despite building such a large base. Chen Lu ignored him and asked if he had something against him or if someone sent him. Mo Ning replied that he simply found Chen Lu arrogant and wanted some fun. Chen Lu realized that Mo Ning was like him in his past life, picking fights out of boredom. Seeing Mo Ning prepare, Chen Lu noticed he indeed had a void blade. He acknowledged Mo Ning's impressive ability, but said it was a shame he was seeking death. Chen Lu drew his own much larger blade. The girl was shocked, commenting on the size of Chen Lu's weapon. She then summoned a knight to aid in the fight. Noting she was a dark summoner, Chen Lu aimed to immobilize her without killing. He cut down the creature and she fell, confused. The crowd was urged not to panic despite their numbers. Chen Lu quickly cut down 2 or 3 more. Mo Ning couldn't grasp what was happening as Chen Lu swiftly handled everyone. The girl used a restraining spell on Chen Lu, telling Mo Ning to flee, but Chen Lu broke free and said there was nowhere to run. She turned astonished and Mo Ning begged for his life. Chen Lu appeared before Mo Ning, stating he needed to teach a lesson. He slapped Mo Ning's face, cruelly deciding to break all 4 limbs to make an example. Back at the base, Chen Lu threw the girl into prison, warning her to obey or she would be killed if she tried to escape. He planned to let her reach level 6 before killing her for the crystal. Chen Lu noticed Dahai and spoke with him. Dahai mentioned a girl named Zhao Zaiyi, who had the power to cause mental confusion in creatures. He wanted to bring her to the base because she seemed valuable. Chen Lu agreed, noting that people with psychic powers could establish mental communication, which would be useful. Dahai then informed Chen Lu that the person he wanted to meet had arrived. Chen Lu met with Jinyuan Jiang, telling him to check the car's trunks, which contained all the requested supplies. Seeing the pile, Jinyuan said he would join them but had one condition. His pregnant wife should only handle logistical tasks. Chen-Lu agreed, saying Jin Yuan would need to earn points for both of them. The boy didn't spare anyone. Jin Yuan would work for both. Meanwhile, the giant turtle approached his shell, lamenting the theft of her child. Emerging from the turtle was a marine friend with fin-like ears. Calling herself Haiji, daughter of the seas, the turtle congratulated her new strength and urgently requested help. Haiji agreed, though she would be weaker on land. She climbed on the turtle's back and they headed towards the base. In the car, Chen-Lu received a mental message from Zhao Zi. Impressed by her skill, she relayed Meiling's urgent warning that she and Millie would die according to Rice's prediction if Chen-Lu didn't return. Chen-Lu was confused as the sisters, many people, and the Thunder King were at the base. What crisis could possibly threaten them? Chen-Lu teleported, informing Sudaju that the car was too slow and he needed to handle the matter at the base urgently. After several teleports, Chen-Lu arrived and found everything calm. He questioned why it was so peaceful, and Rice said that with him there, things had changed. The voice in his head mentioned that a giant turtle was approaching. He guessed it was the one whose eggs he had stolen and stormed out, fuming, thinking the creature sought revenge. Confident in his recent advancement to level 7, he believed he could win. Facing the creature, he ordered it to stop. The girl asked who was calling a monster. Chen-Lu immediately recognized her as Haiji, knowing she was one of the most lethal creatures to appear. Seeing her flying, he was sure she was at least level 9. His only advantage was knowing her weakness, darkness. He was suddenly surrounded by a purple chain. Confident due to Rice's prophecy, he dodged her laser beam, realizing it would have killed him if it hit. Teleporting behind her, he told her to die, but she elegantly dodged. Now aware of his teleportation, it would be hard to land another precise attack. Nearly falling into the turtle's mouth, he teleported again. Haiji sent a hand his way, saying he wouldn't kill her with such tricks. Using an ability to suspend himself in the air, he couldn't attack and his energy was depleting. Without a clear plan to win, he noticed Haiji was impressed his energy hadn't run out yet. Using his time ability to command her to die again, nothing happened, and he had to run. Seeing the sky battle, people doubted Chen-Lu's chances. Mei-Ling suggested everyone take the opportunity to flee, wondering who Chen-Lu had provoked this time. Then the Thunder King grabbed one of the turtle's daughters in his mouth, making the mother cry. Threatening to crush one of them, Chen-Lu felt proud of his smart dog. Haiji, however, ignored this and sent another slash his way. Teleporting, Chen-Lu grabbed another daughter, warning that another attack might kill one of them. The turtle mother pleaded and cried to Haiji. Concentrating energy, Haiji aimed to resolve the issue. The Thunder King, irritated, asked what was happening. Using a clone technique, he attacked, but Haiji easily defeated them. Chen-Lu was worried as she prepared to grab the real one. Intervening out of fear, he told her to return to the end of the world, creating a spatial exile that made her disappear. The Thunder King was shocked, not knowing how Chen-Lu managed it. With his mouth bleeding, Chen-Lu wondered if he had truly banished her, realizing his energy was almost depleted. Finding her shell, her greatest weakness, was now a priority. Pointing the sun at the turtle mother, he demanded the shell's location. Hesitating, she warned that hesitation would cost her son's life. She agreed to talk. He returned her children. Chen-Lu warned that once she revealed the location, Haiji would hunt her too. Suggesting she stay at the base, claiming her children liked him, he had her take care of the turtle as a weapon against the mother. Sometime later, with Haiji's shell in hand, he faced a dilemma. Breaking it would drive her insane before she died, ending everything. Calling her name, he said it had been a long time. Approaching, she asked how he knew her name without anyone telling him. He revealed he not only knew her name, but also that destroying her shell would kill her. Haiji assumed the turtle had told him everything and asked what this human wanted. Chen-Lu explained that neither of them had a reason to kill each other and asked how long she planned to live. She was confused, so he elaborated that he could currently accelerate time but would soon be able to reverse it as well. She was about to ask something, but he preempted her, saying that was exactly it. However, he needed at least a year to become strong enough. After that, he could slow her aging and keep her alive. Haiji agreed, saying that since she didn't hate him, she would wait a year. However, if he failed, he would die. Chen-Lu smiled, thinking that in a year, he would likely be stronger than her. He then said that as a gesture of sincerity, he would return the shell, but she would have to give him the pearl on her forehead. She ripped it out and said that was fine, but she would return in a year, and he better not be hostile. Feeling proud, Chen-Lu not only managed to get Haiji off his back, but also scored a like on this video to help Mamoru make more juicy content for his viewers. Activate the cheeky little bell, and I'm out. And you remember that the last chapter ended when he took the pearl from Haiji's forehead. He was confident because not only did he manage to make the turtle part of his team, but it was now linked to him. In another place, a zombie was making a genkidama. While smoke rose around, he said that dried meat isn't very good since the juice is the best part. Then a random guy appeared and said that his boss was willing to make sacrifices for the zombie. The zombie said that the boss had better be careful because the meat had to be fresh. Back at Chen-Lu's base, he was asking if a luminous-type zombie had appeared. Zhao Hai said yes, and that the creature was in a northern base destroying everything. Our boy replied that he understood, while thinking that with the power of time, it was impossible for a creature to defeat him. Then he went to ask Rice how he felt about his safety. Rex replied that Millie had a good opportunity and he didn't need to be afraid. Ken Lu got excited since the opportunity was probably the luminous crystal. Elsewhere, a god was resting on the couch thinking that after killing this level 6 creature, it would be easy to advance. Then a guy suddenly entered and reported that a creature had invaded the mutation room and the boss was shocked. The guy tried to explain, but he already pushed him aside, saying that apparently he would have to resolve this personally. Ken and Lu was also there teleporting, and that creature from yesterday seemed to be absorbing everything nearby. As he was eating, Chen Lu kicked the door open. The zombie asked if he was the next and said that his meat had better be good. However, Chen Lu only asked how this guy had the courage to talk like that to his father. The monster began to conjure a circle of energy saying he would make him shut up, while Chen Lu said it was impossible for him to die to something that took so long to prepare. At that moment, the guy launched a barrage of attacks, but our boy smiled, saying that it was very slow. He disappeared into thin air and the zombie was confused. At the same time, he appeared behind, hitting him hard on the nape. Seeing that the creature withstood the first attack, he said that apparently it was at level 8. He approached him, saying that he would have to use a certain move. The monster jumped towards him to deliver another blow, saying that now he would die. However, Chen Lu confidently said he was thinking the same thing about the creature. Ken Lu seemed to scream and the monster suddenly stopped the magic and fell to its knees, confused. He asked if it was some kind of poison and Chen Lu just smiled, saying yes. With that, he felt lucky to have obtained a level 10 crystal. It was then that someone in the room ordered him to stand still and drop his crystal. Ken Lu turned and asked since when that crystal belonged to the guy. As the guy approached, Chen Lu said he could give it as a gift for the encounter. The guy replied that he knew Chen Lu was formidable, but you should keep the crystal since he was alone. Our boy sighed, saying that apparently they couldn't coexist peacefully. The leader of the guys told him to shut up and ordered his group to attack. However, Chen Lu was confident. Now that he had mastered the spatial cut, he didn't even need to activate the sword. The cuts just touched the body and instantly the head fell to the ground. The psychopaths of the apocalypse changed their minds immediately and began to smile, saying that Chen Lu was incredible. As soon as the boss died, everyone lined up, saying that Chen Lu was the best boss ever. They were even clinging to our boy, telling him to go along. Our boy liked it and said that this Zhang Chuan had a good vision. With that, he left this guy as the boss and went away. Thus, he had control of that base without having to do anything. Back at the base, he handed the crystal to Millie, saying it was a big gift from her big brother. However, she didn't want to accept it, saying he was the anchor of that base. Ken Lu explained that as soon as he passed level 8, this crystal would no longer be useful to him, and that currently he was so much stronger than her that he was afraid she couldn't handle extracurricular activities. With that, she gave a healing slap. That bastard only thinks about that. A week later, he was waking up in bed. He had finally reached level 8. He knew that now it would be difficult to level up, so it was time for the next plan. He gathered everyone at the base and announced that they had obtained excellent seeds that would increase production by 50%. And with that, in 5 days, he would hold a conference with the other bases to sell these items. He had informed everyone to go to these places and pass on this message. Ken Lu's plan was to take 20% of everything these bases produced, and the people commanded by him thought it was great to have Chen Lu as the boss. Then he called everyone's attention again and said he had another plan. He was going to activate a peace zone. Anyone who paid enough would be able to enter it and not have to worry about wars. Meanwhile, in a stadium that was part of another base, Cheng Guang was there with the plant girl explaining the whole process. From afar, Chen Lu was watching. Since only natural ability users could plant, he knew they would be the most sought after. Then a guy named Wang Liu caught his attention. This guy followed Mai Ling and always wanted to steal her base. He went so far as to create a fake attack to get her hurt and to play the hero. The problem was that things went wrong and that day Mai Ling died. Or not, because in fact it was the first time Millie learned to use resurrection and brought the girl back. Now, Chen Lu had only 2 options for this guy. Either kill him now or evolve to kill him later and take the crystal. The nature girl was there handing out seeds and talking about the price of 20% of everything they generated. After explaining this plan, they also went over the peace plan, saying that as long as they provided enough items, they would handle any problem. A guy named Deng Xiaohong appeared, saying he wanted help to kill someone. The people were confused and accused a guy in a black shirt who was sitting on the bench. At that moment, he pointed to the guy next to him and said he was the culprit. The madman turned and said he was screwed now, while Xiaohong looked in Chen Lu's direction, wondering what to do. He just nodded positively because it was a good chance to prove the strength of his group. With that, Xiaohong announced that they accepted the request and the guy would be killed. However, the bosses of the person who was accused said they had no proof. Xiaohong said he saw everything personally. However, the leader of the guys said he could just be lying. And now everyone was confused, not sure who was to blame. At that moment, Chen Lu appeared, saying that everyone was very excited. However, he warned that the guy pay the crystal, and they accepted the job. He didn't care if the guy did it or not. He didn't need evidence. Then the people were scared. This peace plan was less peaceful than it seemed. The people complained, saying it was very unfair, but Chen Lu just wanted to know if they would fight for the guy's life or not. Sweet and cold, the guy knew that trying to defend that madman would only bring risks. With that, he backed off to save himself and announced that he surrendered. At that moment, the guy tried to escape, but Horan just jumped in front of him and he asked how he had the courage to try to stop him like that. At the same moment, the punch came full in the face and knocked him to the ground. The ex-boss of the guy was scared how his second strongest lost so easily. Horan delivered another sequence of attacks and then threw him in front of Chen Luo. Our boy told Xiao Hong that now the guy was finished and he could get rid of him as he pleased. And with that, he announced to everyone that for the right price, their base could provide anything. And to avoid people killing each other, he said his name was Chen Luo, and he was at level 8. The people were scared because everyone believed the strongest person at that moment was at level 6. A guy raised his hand saying he was curious to see the power of level 8. Ken Liu said it was okay and asked Xiaohan how much he hated this guy on the ground. He replied that he wanted to kill all the members who covered for this guy, but unfortunately, he only had a level 7 crystal. Our boy walked towards the boss of the guys and said that Xiaohong had earned a promotion and a buy one get one free deal. He pointed to the guy, saying for everyone to watch how he would die. The poor guy realized he had no chance and turned to flee. However, before he took the first step, a cut had already sliced his neck and he fell to the ground. At the same instant, he activated the spatial movement and brought the head to his hand. With that, he asked if everyone had seen it clearly. Immediately, everyone fell to the ground terrified. However, at that moment, Xiaohong told everyone to calm down because Chen Lu uses his power against zombies. But Chen Lu himself said no. He has never let anyone who offended him leave alive. And even if a person had 9 lives, they shouldn't try to offend him. With that, the fools were all in shock, saying they would never provoke the boy. The protagonist then told them not to worry because, in fact, he is a gentle guy. With that, he began to leave, but soon turned and warned that he trusted no one would try to hide the profits from the seeds. Everyone agreed, saying he didn't need to worry. Then Sugaju came to talk to him and told him about a zombie named Silin. Ken Lu remembered that this was an extremely intelligent creature that even managed to advance an organization. And with that, he explained that this creature took advantage of Chen Lu's departure to gather a bunch of zombies and would probably launch an attack that night. As he was leaving, those groups from before came to talk to him, saying they wanted to surrender and join Chen Lu. He realized that the performance seemed to have had a good effect. However, he warned that their base would be attacked tonight, so their help would be very good. Lastly, he warned that he wouldn't participate and anyone who wanted to flee now he wouldn't kill. However, if the person accepted to enter the base and flood in the middle of the war, then he couldn't forgive them. Many people began to leave, and as soon as only those willing to take the risks remained, Chen Lu said he would help as much as possible. That night, on top of a mountain, the zombie was telling the leader that they had more than 6,000 members participating. The guy with bandages on his face said they didn't mean to act and just observe for now, and he told the guy to lead the creatures to the front of the base. It's that zombie that Chen Lu had sent to bring a bunch of creatures, and now he was dying of fear approaching the base and dying without knowing what happened. The zombie M swarm was running towards them, and the fire element people were already attacking with explosive bombs. This disaster here is starting to look like the Lord of the Rings war. However, the fire people realized they were not having an effect. The zombies were protecting themselves with each other's bodies, until fire dragon started sweeping many away. It was Mailing who notified Chen Lu that it was time for the next step. With that, Sudaji ran ahead, announcing that it was time for physical attack. He threw himself into the middle of the zombies, tearing everything apart and punching everyone. From atop the mountain, Iceland was just observing that the enemies seemed to have good abilities. He began to suspect some kind of spy since the guys were very organized for those who received a surprise attack. The zombie spy realized he was about to be discovered. He passed this information to Cheng Guang, who relayed it to Chen Lu. Our boy wanted to place that zombie as the leader of the zombies to manipulate them all. However, if that was the case, he had already disappeared, knowing he would have to deal with the guy. Elsewhere, Iceland was beating up Chen Lu's spy, until Chen Lu appeared right behind him, asking if that was the leader. The guy turned and launched an attack towards him, but Chen Lu was just smiling. He disappeared again and appeared beside, cutting the poor guy's head off. Ken Lu stared at the zombie spy, telling him to attack him, or no one would believe the guy. With that, he got the message and jumped towards Chen Lu, saying he would avenge his brother. He went to punch and kick and threw Chen Lu to the ground, who put on a show, saying he would be back and ran away. He turned to his brothers, saying it was very sad that the leader died. And at the same moment, a guy in a brown coat said he would be the new leader. The zombie spy didn't like that and grabbed him by the neck, beating him up, apologizing, but he would have to be the sacrifice. After it was over, everyone said he was the new leader if that was the case. Sometime later, he met Chen Lu and asked what he thought of the performance. Our boy congratulated him and handed over a crystal, saying he was doing a great job. With that, the zombie was all happy, saying Chen Lu could count on him. Our boy saw that the zombies had fled and that battle had yielded many crystals. Right at that moment, he received a telepathic message. The person informed him that the girl from the seas was asking for Chen Lu's help to kill a level 10 creature. Now the confident boy is smiling, saying he would appear there now. He went to the beach, and she came out at the same time. She threw some crystals in his hand, saying these creatures were pestering her. Ken Lu was excited as there were even level 9 crystals there. With that, he thanked her and said he would do a good job, only wanting to know where this level 10 creature was. She informed him it was an icy-type fish and was about 10 minutes away. Sometime later, she was jumping against the creature, telling Chen Lu to activate the ability. She defended against the attack, and he sensed some spatial cuts. However, the creature appeared to defend with its own ice attack and launched it in their direction to Chen Lu. The problem was that he felt he wouldn't be able to dodge it. The poor guy had turned into a popsicle. The ice attack was faster than his teleportation, and the creature attacked once again. He had to activate the spatial exile. Haiji immediately came over and said he had better know where that beast ended up. Ken Lu explained that he knew where it went and informed them it was 30 miles to the east. Since it was a fish, it was very easy to kill, and now they were already collecting the crystal. Haiji explained that he should eat the body of that beast. Our boy was confused since it was usually poisonous. However, she explained why her strength was much greater than that of humans. When she was still inside the shell, the meat of a high-level creature fell inside. She began to consume and accumulated so much energy that she thought she would explode. Luckily, the king turtle appeared and ate part of the meat. With that, both of them grew stronger. She was sure that every time she was attacked by the fish monster, they were always trying to eat her. Ken Lu recognized the explanation of how she got stronger as the same as consuming a high-level crystal. She explained that it would be a waste to lose so much stored energy, and Chen Lu agreed. Even if the taste wasn't good, it was worth it for the power, not to mention that he could ask Mayu to prepare and share it with several members. The scene shifts to another part of the sea where a mermaid is on top of a rock. Someone calls out for the ice sister. It's a seal who says that his brother was killed and needs to be saved. She asks if he was killed by the great white shark. However, the seal says no and mentions that he remembers the smell. The ice sister wonders who this person is that has the strength to kill a god, while the seal pleads for her to help avenge his brother. She starts swimming and tells him to guide her to where this person is. The scene shifts to Haiji and someone nearby saying it's her. Haiji asks if the other is human or mermaid and warns that she will be a great supply for her friend. The ice sister is confused, asking who this little brother is. However, Haiji just has a laser and says that soon she will find out. However, the ice one easily blocks the attack, saying that her strength is decent. But unfortunately, face to face, it's far from enough. At that moment, Haiji tries to flee, realizing she has no chance. However, in half a second, she is completely frozen. The seal begs for her to kill that person for killing her brother. But the ice one asks if he wouldn't prefer her to kill the younger brother she mentioned. Back at the base, Chen Lu was handing the new meat to Mayu to prepare. She explained the best way to prepare it, and he helped cut it. After a while, she told him to try it. He was hesitant since the taste last time was horrible. And unfortunately, it was still terrible, and Mayu said it was an insult. He wondered if anyone could eat that stuff. Then nearby, Thunder King smelled something. He ran over excited, wondering what it was. Ken Lu saw that Thunder King had tracked it and wondered if he liked it. With that, he served it to the dog, saying it was delicious and he would love it. A second later, that damn dog was full, and Chen Lu decided to use him as a test. At that moment, he received a message saying that contact with Haiji had been cut, and it seems he was summoned to a certain island or she would be killed. Ken Lu ran out, but he knew that if someone defeated Haiji, that person was at least level 10. Chen Lu asked Rice if he was in danger, who replied that he was safe for the next 3 hours. However, Chen Lu knew that 3 hours was the time it would take him to get to that island. That meant that at this moment, Rice's power was useless. Unfortunately, his ability had a cooldown, so he couldn't take him for a temporary prediction. But suddenly, he got mad at himself, saying he couldn't be afraid of anyone as the King of the Void. Already at sea, Noskarath said the woman's outfit saved a lot of fabric. She was confused by how quickly he arrived and asked if he was some kind of sea god. He said that actually he was Aquaman and the creatures were all confused. He then asked what Haiji had done wrong for them to have captured her. She replied that Haiji had killed a friend of hers and therefore couldn't remain alive. Haiji suddenly shouted for Chen Lu to stop listening to that woman and run because he had no chance. Ken Lu ignored her and said that to survive, the bigger fish always eats the smaller one, and that's how things work. She pointed at the seal and said he also ate fish, so it was hypocritical to complain about it. But she replied that she didn't care and wanted revenge for her brother. The Ice Sister said he was correct and now his fate was to die to her for being weaker. That extra coverage on the girl was because she was wearing an extra small bra. Ken Lu began to prepare, saying that apparently she didn't like to talk. Haiji told him to give up. This fight was impossible for him to win. But at that moment, he started attacking the seal, saying she didn't need to be his target. At that moment, the Ice Sister got angry, saying he was asking to die. However, he disappeared in front of her. He went to Haiji's side and said he would get her out of there. The ice shattered and he told her to keep holding on. Ken Lu asked if the mermaid wanted to follow him without any cover. You can imagine what he did next. She had to cover herself. I don't need to say more. With that, he said goodbye and told her to follow if she wanted. Haiji congratulated him on killing the leopard because now she couldn't track them. Ken-Lu warned that the sea was no longer a safe place, so she would have to stay with him. The biggest problem now was that his abilities to accelerate and stop time were not evolving. Maybe he would have to find the girl from the past life who had this power. At the base, Millie was worried about going to such a distant city and asked what he would do there. He explained that there was a person with the ability to control time and he needed that. Millie continued to worry, asking how long it would take. Our boy replied that if everything went well, it would take at most 2 or 3 days. The problem was that he didn't know what he would do if the person decided not to cooperate with him. Of course, he didn't mind using force, but this person was very dangerous. After a whole day of teleporting, he finally arrived in City Ich. The only thing he remembered was that she ended up here, but he didn't know the specific location. Walking around, he found a group of people. Someone called out to them. It was Chen-Lu asking if they knew a girl named John. The bearded man questioned if it was another person wanting a free pass. They said she was the sister of their friend and the base only accepted people with time control abilities, and that she was the sister of their friend and the base only accepted people above level 5. Our boy said he didn't need to worry, he was a level 5 physical strength user. Out of nowhere, the guy punched him in the chest. Seeing that nothing happened, he said the boy really had potential, so he would take him to the base. The scene changes to where Jiang is. The girl with time control is the blonde one on the left. He did remember her having a dog and wondered if both died in the past life. Interestingly, if she was already at level 6, it meant she had the potential to reach the king level. That same night, he went and stole all their supplies. Of course, he also stole her dog to leave the girl in panic. The next day, everyone was scared, wondering how everything had disappeared. The girl said her dog had also disappeared, and her father said it was the end of the base. On the first day, everyone had to go out to collect resources again. However, on the second day, many were already giving up on that base. Jiang told her father that everyone was giving up and asked what they would do. At that moment, a guy brought bad news. He said that some neighboring bases found out what happened and were now planning to attack them. Jiang asked if that was possible, and the guy explained that they had some level 7 users. However, her father said they would defend that place with their lives. He told everyone to contact all members, and that today they would fight to defend it. Chen-Lu wondered if he had only accelerated the girl's death as it happened in the past life, and also if she would be able to use her time ability to win this fight. But he started hitting himself, saying it wasn't necessary to let her suffer so much. Since he was there, he would ensure the battle was won. Her father said Jiang would use her power to take down the strongest guy on the other side, and everyone said they would win this easily and that it was disrespectful for them to be attacked. A guy came to deliver a message, and the leader said for them to go meet the enemy. When his body started to inflate, he said goodbye to everyone. Suddenly, poison surrounded the entire area. The father was shocked that he was betrayed by someone who had been with them for over a year. Jiang asked what happened, and he said they were being betrayed by several people. The people commented that the poison had halved their power, so what would they do? Until Chen-Lu appeared, saying there was no need to panic. He was enough. The father told him to stop hallucinating because he was just one against over 1,000 people. But the boy just told them to close the gates and warned that if he could take down everyone, Jiang would die. The father told him to stop being reckless and just asked if he could buy some time. Our boy thought that in the past life he let this place explode, but this time he would help them defend. A guy holding a baton with an army appeared in front of the city, saying they would take that place today. Suddenly, Chen-Lu appeared in front of everyone and said that the guy must be Yu. The enemy was confused since Chen-Lu was flying in front of him. The father, on the other hand, didn't understand since theoretically, he was supposed to be just a level 5 physical strength user. The leader pointed and told them to kill him in the air. However, Chen-Lu replied that they would be the first to experience his large-scale ability. He sent spatial attacks that condensed the area. When they touched the ground, it created an explosion. The chief defended himself, saying his earth shield was impenetrable. However, Chen-Lu prepared another attack and questioned if he really thought that was all he had. He then sent a barrage in his direction, causing the guy to fall to the ground. From atop the wall, the daughter couldn't understand how someone could be so strong. And now the father could understand why the boy was so confident. The chief prepared himself again and said that Chen-Lu was courting death. Our boy realized that the guy had the power to manipulate gravity. He managed to defend himself, and Chen-Lu said it seemed he was better than he had thought. He approached, saying that he had indeed managed to save his group. And he advanced towards him, saying that if that was the case, he must have a high-level crystal. The guy once again activated his gravity power to try to defend himself. However, Chen-Lu just broke through with his hand and told him to stop trying so hard. He warned that the crystal he was carrying now would be his. At that moment, the chief's body fell to the ground, and the father said that crystal was what Chen-Lu was looking for. The chief's body fell to the ground, and the father said that the boy seemed more dangerous than they had imagined. A guy next to the father said that Chen-Lu seemed interested in his daughter. At that moment, the father got excited, saying it was very good news. If the boy was really in love with his daughter and was so strong, there was nothing to complain about. Even if he died in that place, he knew his daughter would have someone to protect her. Our boy didn't waste words, just approached her and told her to come with him. The father, on the other hand, told Chen Lu that he wanted to discuss something. He served tea and asked if he came to that base because of Xiao Xui, and he told Chen Lu that he could be the second or even the most important person there. Chen Lu said no, he wanted to take her away. The father said that in the family tradition, to marry her, he would have to pay with 200 pigs. Confused, Chen Lu questioned where he would find that. In fact, it was all the father's plan because now he had an excuse to tell the boy to stay. The father said that if that was the case, he would have to stay at the base to be with his daughter. Now Chen Lu wasn't happy, realizing that the father was trying to make things difficult for him. And our boy asked if the father knew what time it was. He looked at the clock and said it was 4 in the afternoon. However, Chen Lu, half-jokingly, said that it was time for the father to understand that he wasn't in a position to negotiate anything. And he approached, warning that if he continued to make things difficult, he would be killed. Or worse, if he tried to take his daughter by force, what would he do? The father angrily asked what his plan was and where he would take her. Chen Lu just explained that he had a base in the capital where he was gathering the strongest people to survive. If he wanted, he could come with them and join the base or even start another. He had no ill intentions, but he would take the girl at any cost. And before leaving, he warned that soon that place would be flooded, so it was best for him to leave anyway. At that moment, he ran into Zhang and said he was looking for her. Chen Lu, like a psychopath, told her to try to stop him. She explained that her ability wasn't to stop people, but to control time. However, he ignored what she said and told her to try. He realized he couldn't move at all, but his abilities still seemed to be functioning. Unlike the past life when even his thoughts were accessed, now he could maintain consciousness. Maybe it was because he also now had a time ability. He started moving again and told her to try again. Seeing that she could only stop him for 3 seconds, she realized how strong he was. Exhausted, she said she could only try one more time because it was very tiring. At that moment, Chen Lu was surrounded by a void aura. He broke her ability and said it seemed that's how it worked. Unlike the past life, now not even someone with time control ability could stop him. He then turned and told her to go rest as he had things to resolve. The scene shifts to a girl holding a badge towards the moon. She celebrates for finally creating a perfect copy. Her name is Yusai Ying, and she is seeking revenge on someone who has a base in the capital. This opportunity she received was from the heavens, and she would take advantage of it. A week later, our boy is returning with a father and daughter. The people at the base get excited when they see him. At that moment, he is surrounded, and everyone starts telling him that place had been in chaos since the day he left. Chen Lu is startled when they mention a woman invaded that place. He knows that someone created a fake copy of the badges that Long Yu made. The problem is that it was too quick, so it doesn't make sense. At that moment, Mylan comes running, saying that he finally returned. Seeing this, the poor new girl gets disappointed because she already wanted Chen Lu for herself. Millie apologizes for letting things get to that point. However, Chen Lu says it's okay, and he also didn't expect they would manage to do something like that. Myling then informs him that they already captured the woman, and Chen Lu says he will take a look. He approaches the white-haired girl and asks how she forged that identification. She says copying the appearance is false and used the fame of Chen Lu's base to destroy another. Our boy questioned why she went so far to kill those other elders. She explains that the leader of the base she invaded wanted to force her to do certain things and even killed her brother. Chen Lu seemed indifferent to her sad story and said she would be executed in a week. He needed to do this publicly so that everyone would understand that copying the crest of his base meant death. At that moment, someone came running and informed Chen Lu that they were bringing in a strange body. Strangely, everyone was trying to get rid of it, but it seemed indestructible. Chen Lu knew that the only kind of body that was indestructible, even when dead, was that of king-rank creatures. He immediately disappeared from among the sisters. He arrived in the middle of the group and asked to see the so-called corpse. The man who found it told Chen Lu would take a look. He tried to pierce the skin and realized that even with the power of the void, he couldn't do it. This meant that the creature was indeed a king-rank zombie. He then turned to one of the guys who brought it and asked what they wanted in return. The guy said he didn't know its exact value but brought it as a gift for Chen Lu because he was sure it was extraordinary. Our boy thanked him and said that this was enough for them to join the base and have its protection. The guy, emotional, thanked him for everything. A while later, Chen Lu was trying to extract the crystal from its forehead. After much effort, he succeeded and now had enough crystals to advance to the 9th stage. Unfortunately, sometime later, several bases were submerged and people began to migrate. A man in a cap said they had come from afar and it was best for those people to leave this base. This was one of the bases protected by Chen Lu, so the people were not afraid. They warned that they should give up or they would call Chen Lu, who was a level 9 awakened. The man heard the name of the city Chen Lu was in and wondered if it was possible. However, one of the guys from the base knew that Chen Lu was far away, so it might be better to give up for now. He then turned to the invaders and said they would give up, but the plan was not so simple. As soon as the people left the base and were evacuating, the man said he was tired of this. He cast a void spell saying he just wanted to avoid future problems. A tornado began to kill everyone, and the man asked why he wasn't keeping his word. With that, everyone evacuating was killed. They remarked how naive they were to have believed that. The man in the red bandana said the people in this region were very weak, but someone on the ground challenged him to go to Chenlu's city. The man stepped on him, telling him to shut up, and the guy with the bandana said they would have to check out this city of Chenlu. Meanwhile, in another part of the city, a girl named Lin Weiwei said she never imagined she would return to this city. 2 years ago, she had encountered a stray dog and had cut it. She regretted doing that, and if she could find it again, she would make peace. Clearly, she was the one who cut Thunder King. I don't know if he will forgive you, my friend. At that moment, a friend came and informed her that they had found information about the strongest person in this place, and said they had genetically modified seeds that produced 50% more. Weiwei was shocked as she had a similar power but could only increase production by a third. Her friend said it might be a good morning and they should check out that base. The day of the trial for the girl who forged the badge had arrived. Chenlu already knew that several of their bases were being attacked because many people were migrating. Everyone was informed of the crimes that girl had committed. Pretending to be someone from their base would lead to death. Chenlu said it was a pity, but unfortunately, he needed to kill a chicken to scare the monkeys. Another crazy Chinese proverb, but at that moment, the cut went through the girl. As soon as the head hit the ground, everyone realized it wasn't wise to offend Chenlu. The guy who had taken one of his bases was there and already terrified, not understanding what happened. An announcement was made that from now on, Chenlu's base would only accept people above level 6. Weiwei stood up and her friend asked where she was going. This girl was ruthless and said that unfortunately, it was time for the phoenix to rise. She wouldn't let this bunch of weak allies become a burden to her. She then approached Chenlu, saying she had the ability to accelerate crops by 30%. Obviously, she was accepted and Chenlu was excited. She was welcomed to the base. Thunder King was nearby, wondering if they had returned from the meeting. He stopped suddenly, startled. The voice he recognized was very clear. He remembered many years ago when he was exhausted and lay down in some boxes. He slept there, all cute, wanting to rest and warm up. Then Weiwei appeared and asked how a dog had gotten there. At that moment, she pulled out a blade saying she was in a bad mood and it was a perfect meal. He barked, but she told him to be quiet. Thunder King wanted to apologize and say he only entered because he was freezing. However, without mercy, she cut him. He saw a chance to bite her hand, and that was when she cut his face. The poor guy ran away desperately, and now he remembered exactly who she was. He prepared to attack, and the guide next to him asked what the problem was. At that moment, Chenlu appeared and asked what was going on. Weiwei behind him said that the black dog was very scary. He seemed to have lost his mind, and all Chenlu noticed was that he had the intention to kill her. Rice explained to Chenlu that it was she who cut off his ear and attacked him multiple times. He wanted to know if Chenlu's promise to avenge those who hurt him was still in effect. Immediately, Chenlu turned to Weiwei and asked if she had ever cut a dog's ear. She was frightened, wondering why he wanted to know this out of nowhere. She started lying, saying she would never do something like that. But Chenlu didn't care and said he didn't need evidence. He just asked Thunder King if he wanted him to do it or if he wanted to handle it himself. Weiwei started crying, saying that at that time she was mentally unstable and lost control. However, Rice said that while God may want to forgive, Thunder King's duty was to send her to him. Desperate, Weiwei asked if she was really going to be killed because of a dog. Chenlu completely ignored what she said and just asked Thunder King if he wanted help. He began to activate his electric power, and she just begged to be spared. However, he immediately attacked. The poor girl fell to the ground, begging for her life. Chenlu noticed something was wrong. She seemed to be awakening another ability. Thunder King was excited about this, since it meant she would resist for a while longer. However, suddenly she was enveloped in a red energy and told him to stop. She seemed to have turned into a monster, and Chenlu had no idea what was happening. He just extended his hand and said he would send them both to another place. With that, the woman and Thunder King were teleported to another area of the base. Chenlu was just interested because she seemed to have awakened something like darkness. Meanwhile, Thunder King was attacking using his paws and tail. He was impressed that even though the dog was at level 8, it seemed to be doing nothing. And the monster asked if that was a massage. Thunder King continued attacking, but nothing seemed to have an effect. And Chenlu noticed that his strikes were getting stronger. Thunder King wasn't giving up, so it was probably a cursed head creature. The monster continued asking what was happening, and Thunder King wanted to understand why he seemed to be getting more exhausted. He then leaped to deliver a final blow that would finish her. However, Weiwei delivered a blood swipe and Thunder King stopped. The poor Thunder King tried to get up, telling himself that he wasn't weak. He had to beat her face to face and finish her off alone. Chenlu noticed that Weiwei seemed to be absorbing part of Thunder King's powers. Weiwei warned that she would now return all the suffering he had caused. She crouched down, saying that everything he did was useless. She kicked him, calling him the same useless dog as before. The poor dog was thrown to the ground and Chenlu was startled, but that he stood up, this time with a purple aura. The thunder, instead of coming from him, came directly from the skies. Her entire body seemed to be exploding. Chenlu was shocked. That power was greater than he expected. He quickly ran to help the poor Thunder King, who had fainted. Exhausted on the ground, Thunder King said that if Chenlu didn't help, he deserved more points. But our boy seemed more interested in this purple thunder that he used for the first time. Thunder King started blowing from his mouth, and now it seemed he also had the ability to create a tornado along with electricity. He launched an attack, creating an electric cyclone, and Chenlu was impressed. The only thing he couldn't understand was why he suddenly awakened these abilities. However, if this happened now, he had to take advantage of it to strengthen Thunder King's new power. But now he was starting to get scared of becoming weaker than this dog. Out of ego, he challenged the dog to a race, saying that if he won, he would earn 100 points. Of course, he wouldn't use teleportation, so he had some chance. They both started running to compete, but the damn dog was much faster than him. Chenlu felt desolate, realizing he was really going to lose to the dog he had trained. But when Thunder King was about to enter the door, Chenlu used the Void Banishment. The dog was sent far away, and Chenlu declared that he lost. Obviously, Thunder King complained that he used the ability, but Chenlu said he never promised not to use banishment. In the mansion's garden, Rice showed a strange flower that had bloomed there. Chenlu warned him to be careful because that flower could put you to sleep. Suddenly, Mayu appeared, a mix of a maid and cook, saying she wanted to take a look. Suddenly, Chenlu woke up in agony. He knew that sensation meant he was about to evolve. It finally advanced to level 9. Excited that he was no longer as weak as a dog, the question remained as to what fusion ability he would be able to combine with his. Wai had transformed by combining darkness and nature. Thunder King had managed to combine wind and thunder. He wondered what would happen if he combined the abilities of space and time. Suddenly, someone knocked on the door and he sent to enter. It was Rice, and our boy said it was the perfect time to test something. He asked Rice if he could see what would happen in the future if he combined two abilities. Rice took a look and immediately said he would die. Kent Lu was shocked, and Rice begged him not to try that, not even for a second. Our boy lay down, saying that if that was the case, it was obvious he wouldn't try it. But he wondered if it would be possible at level 10 or maybe at King rank. Next day, he was hunting in the forests and heard about a woman who was turning everything to stone. He immediately thought it was that Ice Elder. In the region, he found a girl flying. It was the Ice Sister again, who was more afraid of Chen Lu destroying her clothes. She preferred to run away than to be stripped by this psychopath again. Ken Lu was surprised that the woman stronger than him was fleeing. He ran after her, telling her to give up. He grabbed her and said he wasn't a bad person and told her not to be afraid. But she called him a pervert and told him to take his hands off. Our boy told her to calm down, he just wanted to talk. But she said to stop trying to force her into doing things. Ken Lu said that if she didn't calm down, he wouldn't have been able to do anything. And that if she didn't obey, he would indeed do what she feared. She pulled out a bow and arrow and said if he tried that again, this time he would die. Suddenly, a blue jellyfish came out of the sea and said it was looking for both of them and told them to come with it. Ken Lu was excited since 2 level 10 creatures would be perfect for him to start evolving. The creatures seemed to have informed the Ice Sister about something, and she wasn't very excited. She was apprehensive because she would have to meet the Sea Lord. But maybe Chen Lu was a good option since he saved Hai Jie. She pointed at him and said he would have to help her. Our boy was startled. He wanted to kill everyone, not become friends. But being a good liar, he said he loved helping people and would assist her with whatever the problem was. She then said her friends were taken by the great white shark. Ken Lu knew that if it was someone she couldn't handle, it was probably at least at king rank. The monster wasn't just strong but had subordinates, so he had no chance. The jellyfish kept insisting, saying that if she took too long, it would go to save the friends itself. She turned to Chen Lu and asked if he would go. He agreed, but the plan was to disappear if things got complicated. The scene shifted to the sea god's temple. A seal appeared and said they had brought a friend who would help him in the fight against the Ice Girl. However, this weirdo just says it's a shame they think he has any problem defeating someone like her. Another one appears and says that the hostage they had unfortunately took their own life. The seal, scared, asks what they will do now that they don't have a hostage. The guy just says it will be more convenient, and they will eat this person. The dolphin sends a message to the Ice Sister, telling her to give up and not try to save him. Suddenly, she starts crying next to Chen Lu. He asks what happened, and she explains that her friend is sacrificing himself. In a fit of rage, she starts swimming, saying she will seek revenge. However, Chen Lu teleports and tells her to stop because it will only get her killed. But she ignores him and keeps swimming, saying she doesn't care. Once again, he teleports and tells her to stop, asking how she plans to defeat him. The jellyfish warns that this situation is very dangerous and it's better to flee. Chen Lu turns to her and says that revenge is a dish best served cold. He may not be strong enough now, but in a year he will easily defeat this so-called sea god. All he needs is her help, and soon they will succeed. Crying, she scoffs, saying he can't even defeat her, so how will he do that? Ken Lu only warns that soon she won't be able to beat him. She says that if that's possible, she will let him do whatever he wants. With that, our boy starts pulling her out of the sea, thinking that now he's in luck. Suddenly, Thunder King starts speaking and asks how many points he will get for 7 crystals. Ken Lu was startled and asks since when he knows how to speak Chinese. He tells the dog to repeat and starts saying 7 and 8 crystals. Give me the points. Our boy gets excited and calls everyone to see that he has a talking dog. A while later, our boy meets Dahai, who says he has some information. He talks about a woman named Lu Tianzu, who has over 620 subordinates and an Earth-type ability. Ken Lu remembers that she was the only person of nature who managed to reach the king rank. He knows she's a good option because she isn't an idiot and isn't too ambitious. The list Dahai gave also has information about a certain Hook Sangfeng, who seems to have killed a lot of people and has over 2,000 subordinates. Ken Lu thanks him and says he will have to take a walk. The scene changes to Lu Qianzu's base. The guy who wants to defeat Chen Lu introduces himself and says he wants to talk about something. He says that unity is strength and asks if she wants to join forces with him. She just responds that she will consider it. The guy, realizing that she didn't even ask what he had to offer, knows she politely refused. He questions if she did this because of Chen Lu. Impressed, she says yes and is considering partnering with him. The guy gets angry. Not only was he rejected, but she also revealed interest in someone else. Suddenly, someone shouts, warning that a bunch of zombies is approaching. The guy has the idea to help her and gain some moral high ground to make her join him. In front of the base, a zombie is leading the invasion attack. Of course, it's Chen Lu's creature, which he's surely sent to do this. The guy with the bandana appears and tells the creature to stop being